Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream, and today is very exciting. We have got some interesting new leaks. We have the new METARION stuff, which I have mixed feelings on. I think the new METARION stuff looks cool. I think it's gonna be fun to play. The issue I have with METARION is, one, it's kind of been a bit of a tyrant in Duel Links, so every time it comes back, I'm like, uh-oh, this could be another oopsie-whoopsie from Konami. But, on top of that, I've never liked playing against the modern version of it in OCG. It's not like the deck's like really annoying or like really frustrating. It's just the deck just seems to keep going and going and going and going, and they just keep comboing and comboing. And they have also like a really annoying trap card that's really good as well. I think outside of that, the deck's just fine, right? I think the new cards looks like it's going to make the deck pretty strong. I think it will probably squeak into kind of a top 3 spot. I wouldn't be surprised. Because the way I kind of look at it is it looks like it's going to play similarly to how Heroes play, where you use Elemental Circulation to turbo through your deck. Now, the issue with Elemental Circulation is you need to make sure you have a normal monster in hand along with Circulation to actually get everything going, right? The issue we have with... oh god, what is even the spell card called? I should find out quickly before I just start rattling stuff off. Imaginary Arc Talents. The issue with Talents is you can whiff, right? You just activate it, Excavate 4. If you just don't find what you need, it hasn't really done a lot. And if you do whiff, that's going to feel really bad. But, again, assuming everything goes well, you just turbo through your deck, fill up your graveyard with stuff, get a load of that stuff back to your hand, make lots of fusions. You'll probably go like Ashura Star, pop a back row, then fuse Ashura Star into full METARION Ashura Star. You could even then use that one's effect to bring back Ashura Star and pop another face down card. So like, there's a lot you can do with it. Or if your opponent just has a bunch of set monsters, again, you could just pop 2 of them with 2 Ashura Star activations in a single turn, which is really good. Other than that, though, we have also got some other leaks. We've got the Warrior stuff, which I think could do something. I'm just not convinced it's going to do enough. I think the big issues that Warriors currently have is very specifically the fact that YAMITARION and YAMILUNA are both still limit 3, which means you can't consistently try and build towards that strategy, right? You can't just do like the whole, well, I'm going to floodgate you so you can't like OTK me with your like ridiculous aggression, because we've only got 1 copy of the fusion, as well as only having 2 copies of the fusion material, which makes it very awkward. That being said, I do think the new card we're getting is good, and it does give us another piercing avenue, which is also pretty good. So I want to cope on it, right? I really want it to be good. I think if they unlimited YAMILUNA and YAMITARION, I think that deck has potential. I think with them both limited, it's still going to be kind of cope. And then last but not least, but probably the biggest thing we're getting is TamaineBot. Nah, of course it's not. It is the trap card. SHADY. And SHADY is kind of ridiculous. It's actually kind of ridiculous. But we'll be going through all of that. We'll be looking at all in depth. I want to go over some of like the OCG stuff that's going on, how these cards I think are going to impact the game. But before that, let's see who we have in the chat. We have a human Portuguese dub fan. The Shady meta is upon us. True. It'll be interesting to see if it is going to be limited. Because at the moment, as far as we know, it's not limited, but they can do whatever they want, right? Like, originally, I think it was Steel Striking Dragon Metagears was going to be limited and then wasn't limited. So, like, they can change it on a dime, right? So, we'll have to see what they actually decide to do with it. Shady till end of service from Big Man Neo. Welcome on Neo. Yes, Shady is actually insane that we have that card, because that card is still absolutely fantastic in the OCG right now. So is that card just going to be an auto-include in every deck that you can put it in? Like, maybe. We have Luis Fernando, METARION Bros. We are so back. Probably METARION has chances to be new tier 1. Yes, I do think because of how the cards work, the chances that your deck just gets going should be extremely high. So I would say in most scenarios, turn 1 or 2, you should be easily able to fusion summon with Metarion. And just a Sure Star on its own is already just fine, right? Just get out a 2800 guy that can pop a face down is good in general. But if you're able to go further beyond that and keep the combo going, and then you go into like full Metarion Assure Star, use its effect, bring back Assure Star, pop another face down. Like, think about this as your turn 2, right? If you're able to go Assure Star, full Metarion Assure Star, and then bring back Assure Star. I haven't actually done like the maths to work out how much card investment that would be in total. But if you're able to do that, that's insane, right? That could just be... Well, it's not going to be like an OTK. You'll take off half your opponent's life points to destroy their entire board. Maybe it's not that bad, actually. It would still be really strong. I think it's going to be really good at breaking boards, at the very least. Maybe it's not as good into set as I was thinking. It's one of those things as well, where depending on... Because of the way that Metarion plays in OCG, it's very difficult to directly compare because as far as we know, we're not getting the fusion spell. And without the Metarion fusion spell, we now have a lot more card investment going into our boss monsters compared to OCG. OCG, we can fuse them from hand, which like doesn't make a huge difference because a lot of the Metarion stuff is low level anyway. But we also get to recycle components of the fusion back to our hand. So we're not getting that discount effectively. So we'll have to see how it actually ends up playing out. We have E-Hero. Welcome, welcome on in. How dare Konami release 2 archetypes I want to fully chronicle so close together? I know, it's outrageous, really. The audacity of Konami to do that. Can you believe it? Oh, and apparently we have also not got our streamer mode on. So I'll go ahead and turn that on so that we don't have Discord beeping at us the entire time. We have Corey in the chat. Hey, just in time. Welcome on in, Corey. We have Gunkin, Zuship, Shari, Shiny, Shady, people holding hands. Exactly. Sad I don't have any gems for the new box, and it looks meta-relevant. How long do we have to farm? Well, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know if the deck... Or not the deck build. If the selection we had recently was actually like super meta relevant at the end of the day. Like, obviously some of those cards were really good. We did see Curse see a lot of play initially, but I think Curse has sort of fallen off a little bit. And then like outside of that, like Processor hasn't really done much. It's a weird one. But this box definitely looks a lot more like this looks like you must invest in this box if you want to play competitively. That's what this kind of looks like, this deck build. Hope we at least kind of decent with 3 of the fusion spell. If we get 3 of the fusion spell, I think she's going to be really, really good. Really, really good. We'll see what happens there. Goodbye, hero bros. I mean, kind of. I think, again, any deck that's leaving warriors on the field are going to catch strays, because even if you're not playing Type Change Beam, right? Even if you're not going Assure Star Turbo, you still just naturally make Assure Star when you're playing Metarion. It's like the best boss monster they have. So you're going to just be summoning it. So anyone that's playing Warriors is going to get slapped on the wrist a little bit there, right? The YAMILUNA spoon feed at random months is real. I think it's another, like, they don't want the game to be slowed down. They don't like the floodgateness of it all. Because, like, the one time YAMILUNA came back in, like, a really big way was with the release of Sky Saviors. But Sky Saviors is another, like, floodgate deck. So I think Konami are a little bit worried about giving us that in Duel Links. Even though I think Sky Saviors is a really fun deck. Now, obviously, floodgates are floodgates. So, you know, there's that. But, you know, they're not awful floodgates. Some floodgates as well are worse than others, right? For example, I hate Barrier Statue and I hate Vanity's Fiend because they stop you from special summoning. But Yamitarasu just stops you special summoning in attack mode, right? You can still get your guy out, you can still summon it, you can still use its effects. It just has to be in defense position. There are ways you can play around that. There's some interesting stuff you can do, and depending on what you're making, there is stuff you can do with that. So it is a floodgate, and it's an annoying floodgate, but it's way, way, way better than Vanity's Fiend, right? At the end of the day. So, like, I think it's fine. The other one that you get specifically in Sky Saviors is a card that stops you... It makes so your opponent can't activate spell cards except Fusion. So that can be really detrimental depending on what deck you're playing. But a lot of the time, spell cards don't play a huge role. Like, obviously, legend spells, massive. If you have an archetypical fusion spell, so for example, if you're playing heroes and you want to use Miracle Fusion, if when Wind Warriors come out, you had a Music Princess Dance, etc., right? Then that's when it's like, oh god, that turns off what my deck's trying to do. But like, I think it's okay. I think it will be fine personally. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm biased. YAMILUNA will probably be rogue. Probably, I would assume so. I would assume so. I want it to be playable, but it is what it is. We have Ursus in the chat. Hello, Ursus. Ursus been on a bit of a tear in tournaments lately. Keeps topping with the Dark Galaxy Fusion. After everyone gave up, Ursus is still going, showing the deck still has legs. Hello, Markwell. Welcome on in. And hello, Hidden Barnkai. Welcome. Why is METARION back? Well, Konami really like METARION. And, again, they're not giving us all of it. Like, they're not just giving us full power METARION. This isn't going to be, like, full-on OCG METARION. We're getting some more tools. We're not getting everything. So, they could have gone further. Let's put it that way. I fully chronicled Subterra, and now I have to do the same with Chimera. Ooh. I think the Chimera cards in Chronicle, depending on how you Chronicle them, could look really good. Some of those cards are like, they're a little bit over-designed, and there's a lot going on in the art. But I think those are the sort of cards that if you stick the right Chronicle on, could pop really, really hard. So I think that could look really good. We have Toti in the chat. The Rush stuff is going to be before Worlds, question mark. Probably. I think it would be weird to not do it before Worlds. But, like we said in the video yesterday, like when we spoke to Jorfio about it, the Rush Worlds pool gets locked in on the 1st of August, which means the absolute latest they could release it is the 1st of August, because then they have an entire week after that to submit their decks. So, as long as it's in the next, 9 days, then we're good to go, right? Then it can just be at Worlds. So, it means they only get a week to test the new stuff, but it would still technically be legal for Worlds. All this METARION is BS. Why are those clowns back once again? I think they're going to be good as well. I really think they're going to be good. I think it's going to be scary. I do think it's going to be scary. Wait, METARION is back? LFG was looking for group? I don't know what LFG means other than that. But hello, CZ. Welcome on in. Thanks. Anytime, Ursus. I always need to glaze Ursus, because whenever anyone makes a deck work no one else is playing, that's always like... massive salute to you. Hats off. Doing fantastic. Please don't let them get a skill for Fusion. It would be so funny. I don't think they're getting a skill because this is a deck build, and traditionally we haven't gotten skills with deck builds. Now we could still get a skill, but traditionally we haven't. I think the most we got was we got some skill changes with the latest one, which gave us the Beyond Curiosity change, and it gave us the Maximum Ragnarok, so like the cyber skills got changed. So like, that could happen, but I would think if that was going to happen, we would have had them with these leaks. So maybe alongside Tiger, maybe, I don't know, for the METARION box. I doubt this would be alongside Tiger. I would imagine Tiger is going to be a little ways off yet, like several weeks. Like, at the earliest, but we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. It's because we can't know for sure. What we can do is infer things based on circumstantial evidence that we have access to, right? METARION is garbage, to be honest. We just tormented by TCB. So, METARION is fine, right? TCB makes METARION an OTK deck. Without TCB, METARION still was fine, right? As a standalone strategy, it was a bit weaker, because TCB just makes the deck, like, infinitely more powerful. It gives you a win con, effectively. Other than that, you're just playing, like, a control game. In the current metagame, obviously METARION not very good. But even before people were playing TCB, you could still just play METARION as, like, a sub-package in your Gaia deck. And that was still really good. It was still the best deck before people were playing TCB in it. So, I think when you take a look at the OCG version of the deck, it doesn't play TCB. Like, you don't typically see Type Change Beam in the OCG version. Again, we're not going to have all of the pieces, but we will have a lot of the pieces that will make the deck have, like, a new direction. Because the new direction is going to be basically you turbo out full METARION Ashura Star, and then you use that's effect to absorb attack and try and OTK, or you'll use it to bring back METARION Ashura Star, and then use that's effect to try and, like, either OTK or pop stuff out the way, or etc, etc. So it depends how many fusions we're able to competently do in a single turn. I have to, like, math it out, because I don't know if we're going to easily be able to summon out, like, full METARION Ashura Star, like, in a single turn, and then use its effect as well, which requires us to give up a card from hand. Because, I mean, like, we'll take a look at it a bit more in depth when we get to it, but I think it has potential. I think it does have potential. The format will change. Red Boot. Well, Red Boot gets skill. I might genuinely hate you. Was Red Boot specifically... Was that the only skill we got with that deck build? I'm trying to think now. The issue is I don't keep track of, like, skill releases, so it makes it difficult to know. I might genuinely hate Yuo. Don't they have an Archetype TCB for one monster? They do, but we're not getting that card. So, Evil Baller, or whatever his name was, if I recall correctly. Yeah. But we're not getting that one as far as we know. So, probably will be 2 per turn. Hikari about to unretire from Shadowverse for this one. METARION can do 3 fusions. Gavin got a skill for the Warrior Fusion deck build too. God, that was so long ago as well. So are these just, but both of these just one? Because I know for the latest one, for the Worm one, the Worm and Cyburst one, we didn't get a skill, right? We just got, like, updates. One with, like, Gantry Dragon and stuff. METARION can only put 2 fusions on the board. METARION can't do 3 fusions just with Poly. So let's go through this quick, right? So it'll be summon, use fusion, make a fusion, right? Then we could, no matter how we do it with, even if we use the new boss monster they get, the Imaginary Leading Actor. Imaginary Leading Actor just sets stuff up. It doesn't actually give us any plussing, because we -2 to get +2, so it ends up breaking even. So we would then just summon, and then fusion again. Go into full METARION Ashura Star, and then we'd have to use a card from hand that we currently don't have. So unless we're plussing from something. I'm trying to think, does any of the METARION cards plus? Because, like, Arc Talents doesn't plus. They all just kind of break even. And maybe that's where the deck's going to fall apart a little bit. Everyone hates on METARION and TCB, but most every deck has their own OTK tool. It's the only one that gets dragged. So, I think you're being a little bit disingenuous there. Back when METARION was the best deck, it was basically the only OTK deck. The only thing that came close to it at the time was Magnum Overlord. And that deck was bad because it was just inconsistent, right? There were so many ways you could just play around it. So you have to think about it in context of when it came out. Right now, yeah, everything's an OTK deck, right? Heroes is sort of an OTK deck. Red Boot is definitely an OTK deck. Light Galaxy is an OTK deck. Dark Galaxy is an OTK deck, right? Everything's an OTK deck now. But it wasn't when METARION was during their first reign of terror, right? Nothing was an OTK deck then. You mean fake format box, as I like to say? Oh, fake format box was so good, man. Bring back fake format box. Fake format box all the way. Only 2 boss on the board, with 3 full Ashura summon. Shiny will change this. I'm trying to think. Hello, Sakadetsu. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying to think how we get more out. So we just summon. Fusion. Into Ashura. Right, that's 3 cards to get Ashura out. Then we can activate Fusion with an actor. That's 5 cards. Now we have a full METARION Ashura Star on the board, right? And that's all 5 cards gone from our hand. So, without any kind of plussing, and obviously if we had cards set on the board beforehand, if we had like monsters on from a previous turn, that's fine. But I'm trying to work out, like, from my base hand of 5 cards, can we do any better than that? Shiny will change this. I swear I'm gonna go back to Vanguard and play with Jadrul Magnus. What is it at the moment in Vanguard? Isn't Bavsagra like the strongest deck? Probably back removal can return. I mean, with Shady, I would expect back removal to come back. It's a weird one because in the OCG, we've started seeing people play like Justiciar and Justiciar adjacent cards instead of traditional back row removal, because like back row removal on a body is better because you can recycle it, etc, etc. Especially Justiciar recycles itself, so it's just really good for that, or recycles other copies of it. And spell trap spots have become more precious, so people haven't wanted to use spaces on things like Overrush Storm? Overrush? Is that what it's called? Overrush Storm? I think it's called Overrush Storm. And there's the other new one as well, which is like pops the back row. I can't remember what it's called. The other generic one. What have I missed? We have just still been doing our intro, basically. We haven't done any deep dives yet. Is Shiny Shady going to be unlimited? So, we don't know. The only thing we have to go on is, because Brad did mention this, he said that in the data mines for the speed stuff, we did see some limits, which means the cards have been tagged as limited in the code, right? We haven't had that for the rush stuff. So, as far as we know, they are unlimited. But it doesn't really mean anything. Konami can change whatever they want whenever they want, right? Fire Blast. Oh yeah, is that what it's called? I actually never bothered to learn the name of the card, but you know the one I'm talking about. I'm sure I assume it's called Fire Blast because it is a very fire card. Are we expecting that Shady gonna fix all the OTK nonsense? I mean, maybe. So the one good thing about Shady, like specifically, is Shady stops your opponent from summoning monsters that pop back row and then just killing you, right? So for example, if you're playing heroes, you could just go, I don't know, Burst Wingman, pop the back row, then use Miracle Fusion to go into Shining Flare Wingman, right? Shady will stop them at that first stage. The downside is that if they do summon a monster that does pop the back row, then you're forced to respond to that monster. So you won't have it for the actual threat. But it depends on how many cards they have access to, right? So a good example of this is if you have Compulse, you have to Compulse the extra Plasma most of the time. But then if your opponent just has access to the Galactica Oblivion Eternal, well, you no longer have the Compulse for that, right? Because you've already used it. So it's weird. Yeah, like Toki says, I think it helps. It helps. It could curve it quite a lot. I think a lot of it could be as well, if your opponent has back row, you now have to weigh up the odds that that back row is going to be a Shady. If your opponent has 3 Shady and a Compulse, for example, you have to sit there and go, is it worth summoning Eternal Galactica Oblivion when there's a good chance I'm about to run into one of these traps? Because right now, your logic is, all right, they need exactly Compulse or I win. So you just go, well, it's a one-of, better put them on like they gotta have it. If there's 4 cards in the deck that can stop you, suddenly it's like, the maths don't work out as nicely anymore. Now it's like, I mean, can I afford to do this? If I do, I might just lose. Surely Konami is trolling us? I mean, maybe. Happy birthday. Thank you, Zaki boys. A little bit late, but welcome on in. I have no idea what you tried to say, but I like the clown emoji. That's a good one. I do like that. I do like that. When Shady burst Wingman. When Shining burst Wingman. Shining... Well, you know, Shining Flare, burst Wingman. I actually would be shocked if Shady isn't a limit 3 or limit 1 on release. Like, they limit every single shit, but not the most played staple cards in Rush history. I don't buy it. I mean, I think it would make sense that it's going to be limit 3. But the thing to remember is that right now, we don't have a limit on riding. So there is a world in which people just play like 3 riding, 3 shady legend trap, and just 7 traps becomes the norm. Like there is a non-0% chance that happens. Now, how likely is that to happen? Probably not very likely. We've already seen riding doesn't do like a ton, but like suddenly more control options are available. So even if you book the Explorer, how do they summon Eternal? Their board is clogged. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, you could tribute over it, right? Because that's the wonderful thing with that deck, is you can just tribute over it for another Explorer, or tribute over it to get out a normal Galactica Oblivion. Again, it depends how many cards they have access to, as to like how much they can get away with, right? Especially if trap cards slow the pace of the game down, suddenly they could accumulate a lot more cards. Dokkan and Vanguard have saved me from the Metarion hell. I would really like a Vanguard Zero type game to come back, but like I think that ship has kind of sailed. I had a bit of a Vanguard Zero like nostalgia binge earlier, and it was really good. Like I really missed that game, bro. I love that game so much. If Shady is at more than 2, I'm gonna live stream me doing Sudoku. Oh, cool. We're gonna get to watch a Manicus stream. I'm excited for that. Dokkan mentioned. Just don't play effect monsters. Easy. I mean, unironically, you do get around it if you just don't summon effect monsters. Probably with Shiny, they don't change Rush to 8,000 life points. I would imagine that changing life points to 8,000 is something they will only do in case of emergency, right? Like everything has hit the fan, players are hemorrhaging, no one's playing it anymore whatsoever. Like the options are do something drastic or just stop supporting it. So I would think that would only ever happen then. 0 but for standard format? I mean, that would be cool. 7's probably be better in this meta. I would expect so. The only reason baseball is doing as well as it is because it can OTK. If it couldn't OTK, baseball would not be in the same kind of boat, I think. At the same time, Red Boot's kind of in a similar boat, where I think Red Boot goes down with Shady. Red Boot typically gets to do about 6,000 damage. And if you just Shady a enhanced Red Boot, I'm going to gain a load of life points. It's not attacking me or burning me this turn. I feel like I'm in a great spot as soon as I do that. Blue Eye stocks go up. Shady is going to be so bad for the game, but also if they add it. I mean, it's not an if they add it. They're adding it, right? Like, it's kind of... It's in there. Like, we have the leaks. We have images of it in, like, promotional. Like, it's coming. Draw attention from more competitive Rush players. May bring numbers up. Probably Red Boot will decrease so much in this meta. I read some Vanguard Cray lore. Rizael is a doctor. I know nothing about, like, the Cray lore. I watched the show. That is as far as I go with the lore. One card is going to stop so many plays. Yes. But considering we were, like, OTK meta, I think that's probably for the good of, like, the game for the most part, right? But let's move on with the show, shall we? So I know, like, the big news is all the Rush stuff, but we are going to cover the speed stuff first. I want to, like, get through the speed stuff. I want to look at some of the new stuff that we've got coming in, and then we'll get on to the next bits and bobs. So first off, we do have the Marek event in. So first off, who has been collecting their counterfeit cards? Because it's funny how every time we have a character event, you have to collect their currency, right? Marek's is counterfeit cards, and that makes sense because of the whole Rare Hunter thing. But I can't look at that and be like, bro, I've just got like 100 copies of Darkly Big Rabbi. And if you know Darkly Big Rabbi. But we have got some of these new cards. I don't really know what any of these do, so I'm just going to kind of have a look at them quick. During the battle step, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do gain 1,000 life points. You can only use the effect of Duragado once per turn. Quick effect, you contribute this card, then target one monster you control gains 1,000 attack. This seems kind of mid. This is like a hand trap that you can cheat out to block an attack or use it to gain 1,000 attack. This seems a little bit low power, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, in my mind, this doesn't seem good enough, but... I don't know. Can't wait to watch the Grand Rage stream where he's done a 180 and now he hates traps. I mean, that would be entertaining. Would be very entertaining. A Shady, I feel, is their solution to the skill OTK bullshit. Yeah, I think that's fair. Alright. Durigator, oh my god, meta breaking. Probably they change Hero for Dark Galaxy and Worlds. Maybe. I think Hero still has a lot of potential, because Hero can still just kind of kill you out of nowhere. It depends. Maybe? Shady, like, really, you have to really reorient your perspective on everything with Shady in the game. And then we have this trap card. Monster Rebirth. If a monster was destroyed by battle this turn, send one monster reborn from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then target one monster in either graveyard, special summon that monster to your field. This also seems bad. I'm pretty sure this is just bad. Ghost Cyclone's about to become a staple again. I mean, maybe. I'm calling it getting unlimited. I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see. So next up, we have the new bundle. Now, one thing we don't know, we still don't know if this card's getting halved, right? Now, the consensus has been, this card needs to be halved, and this isn't burn damage, so it's not going to be halved, right? Those are the two competing opinions we've had on this card. I really like Tax Dragon. I understand Tax Dragon's a bit strong. We know we're getting this card. We've had it in the leaks, and in-game now we have this image. This banner is from, you know, the game. Nowhere in-game does it have the text of this card, though, as far as I'm aware. So we still don't know if this is getting halved or not, as far as I am aware. Now, if someone else knows if this is getting halved or not. So it's like, if this is halved, this will still be good. If this isn't halved, this is going to be so nuts. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens with it. But I am looking forward to getting this card. Odd Eyes Gravity in the game? Let's have a look. Is it Odd Eyes or is it Odd Eyes? It looks like it is not in the game yet. Taxes are back. Blazing is cost, not an effect damage. Well, I mean, we did just say that, Shui. Also, welcome on in, Shui. We'll give you a shout out. The exclamation mark, Shui. Always got to do that. But, again, Konami can do whatever Konami want, right? If they want to change this card, they can change it. Like, you know, who's going to tell them they can't? I'm curious to see if this does get changed. Because I'm on the Shui side of things. Well, I don't think this will get halved, right? Are we still playing script? I assume we must be. Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be, right? It's got to be. Well, because it doesn't matter that the skill is slow, because the cards in the deck are going to speed the deck up, right? So you're going to have the new spell card is going to turbo through the deck. The new boss monster is going to turbo through the deck. Question for the speed guys. Will the deck be good or bad? Will the deck being good or bad fall upon whether it's halved or not? So the issue is, this card causes your opponent to lose 600 life points to activate cards or effects, right? So every time they activate a spell card, 600 life points. Every time they activate a monster effect, 600 life points. Which means there is now a clock on how many activations they have to get rid of Masquerade before they're dead, right? So if that number is like too low, then that's going to be pretty rough. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon got halved. Why wouldn't this? Well, is Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon a burn effect, or is it a cost effect? Red Eyes Flare. This one? This one. Each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 250 damage. And this is... your opponent must pay 600 life points. So that is the differentiation, right? One of them is a burn effect. The other one forces your opponent to pay life points. So far, the only effects that have been halved are burn effects, not life point costs. So it might seem like an asinine distinction, but it is important for how burn effects have been halved so far, right? So... that's not tax right after. Right, that's after. Red Eyes is a burn effect, not a cost. Is the Ancient Warrior burn or tax? I can't remember what that one's name is. Ancient Warrior. Is it Guan? No, is it the Lubu one? Come on. I believe in you. There we go. Which one is the burn one? It's not you. Is it you? No, it's the... you? This one. It's this one, right? Your opponent must pay 400 to activate cards or effects. So this is exactly the same. And I believe this one was not halved. I don't think this was 800 in TCG. Ancient Warrior is the only other cost effect guy that never got hit. There we go then. So, like, again, the precedent has been set that Tax Dragon will be at full power. So... we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Again, Konami can still do whatever they want. We will never know for sure. All we can do is infer based on the circumstantial evidence that we have access to. And then also getting all these skills, which is exciting. And then the only other thing to touch on, I guess, is Millennium Duel, the new speed main box. Now, I'm a little bit sad this is a main box, just because I don't know if I'm going to have the gems to go through this immediately. But we'll have to see. I am looking forward to this box. I think this box actually looks really cool. And the big reason I think this box looks cool is because I was always going in here to get the, like, Despia stuff. The, you know, anything branded Despia related, we're always getting that. But then it's like, whatever else is in the box, I'm also just getting for free, effectively. And we're getting Adamancipators. And I really like Adamancipators. As well as... we're getting the Chimera stuff. And the Chimera stuff is something I've never really been super into. But, like, if I'm picking it up for free, why not check it out, right? Why not check it out? Taxes can never be nerfed, only buffed. Minus 600, minus 600. Chimera looks free to play? Yes. I mean, if you look at this, like, none of it is in UR. Like, maybe you'd play, like, Alpha in there if you don't really have Alpha. But, like, but even then, I don't think Alpha really makes much sense. I think I just like him because he looks like he should be in that deck, right? Just look at the way Alpha looks and look at the rest of this, like, Chimera stuff. One box run, the 3 ofs are rares. I have no idea about, like, these SRs, like the fusions. Like, are you going to need, like, multiples of these? Like, I genuinely have no idea what that's going to look like. Apprentice Illusion. All I can think of is Apprentice Illusion Magician. I don't see that here. Adams with Block Dragon at 3. Yes. I mean, that's going to be the interesting part, right? Is how that's going to work. Because Adamancipators also don't have a skill, right? So it's just going to be, like, naked Adamancipator. I don't know what. Because, like, I've played Adamancipators in Limited before. And I thought they were really cool. But I couldn't tell you, like, what their TCG... like, constructed tournament, like, win con is, right? I know what they do. I know how they work. I don't know, like, what their big end board is supposed to be. The way I kind of look at Adamancipators is it's a bunch of, like... it's like an engine that gets you into lots of pieces, and then I don't know what you're doing with those pieces, right? You need 2 of the level 6. The other fusions are 1-ofs at best. I see. Well, what's going to be the rest of the deck, then? Like, what's the rest of the extra deck going to be? Like, just generic stuff, like Nightmares and stuff? Nightmare Apprentice. Oh, this one. Yeah. Apprentice is a 1-of. does everything. Oh, this... I've never read this card before. So, we'll read this now quickly. Nightmare Apprentice. 2000 attack. Illusion. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding one card. So, this is... Christ. What was the Dark Magician version of this card? Which is like a 2000 card that you can special summon by discarding. I can't remember what it's called, but you know the one. You can only special summon it once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add an illusion monster from your deck to your hand, except Nightmare Apprentice. You can only use the effect once per turn. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed. Okay. So this is pretty good. Discard a card, then get a card to your hand. So you get this out for free, effectively, and you exchange one card in your hand for any illusion monster from your deck. I mean, this seems good. This seems good. Tomato plays Limited / Draft. I used to play Limited and Draft a lot. I haven't done so in a very long time at this point. But I used to do it a lot, and I used to really, really enjoy it. That's where I actually played, like, Despia and Branded. I played a lot of it in Limited. And it was so much fun. Like, so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. We have Nightmare Magician. So I've seen this card before. So this is another illusion monster. If this card battles a monster, neither monster can be destroyed. At the end of the damage step, this card battle, take control of the opponent's monster. Once per turn at the start of the damage step, if another monster attacks, you can destroy one card in the field. This seems... If this wasn't level 7, I'd be like, this seems actually pretty good. The Tricky? No, I was not talking about the Tricky. If this wasn't level 7, I think this card would be pretty good. I don't know if there's a good way to, like, cheat this out, but my initial impression is without an easy way to get this onto the board, this is just shit. But if you could get it onto the board very easily, this would actually be pretty good. As linkage. One of the cards you from graveyard. If you do special summon a Sky Striker Ace monster from your extra deck, you have at least one light and dark Sky Striker monster. In your graveyard, that gains 1000 attack. So this is the card that lets you, like, attack multiple times, right? So you get out your Sky Striker, you attack, you activate this, then you trade your monster out, get out another guy, attack again. So if you have, like, the direct attack ones, like, you can maybe close games with this. Skill puts Nightmare Magician in the graveyard. You special summon it for free going through your normal combo. Ah, I see, I see. Speaking of the Tricky, I'm surprised we haven't gotten an illusion retrain for him yet. There's still time. There's still time. Egyptian God Slime. Summoned, extract using 1. Level 10 Aqua Monster with 0 attack. This card can be treated with 1 or 3 tributes. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Your opponent's monster cannot target for attacks, and your opponent cannot target with card effects. Okay. Any monsters you control except Slime. Okay. I haven't looked too much into the Marek skills, but if there's something that gets this going, I guess it could be fine. Blaster's a weird card. I still don't know if this card matters. It's kind of old at this point. Like, the effect is decent. It just pops a thing, but it still costs 2 cards to use. Getting out a level 7 body can be relevant, and you can get it out relatively easily. Maybe one day. Hi, Tomato. Hello, Duke. Welcome, welcome. Blaster is useless. Yeah, that's kind of my thought process. Like, if you're playing, like, a fire deck or a dragon deck, would you even bother just slotting this in? I don't know. Let me get a Luba. As card is normal or special summoned, you can add a branded spell trap from your deck to your hand. If a face-up monster, or if a face-up fusion monster you control is destroyed by battle, or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, special this card. If you do, negate the target monster's effects at the end of this turn. You can only use the effect of a Luba once per turn. So this is just a good card, right? This is a... You summon it, you get to grab a branded spell trap, which is going to be like branded in red, or... I can't remember what the other one's called. You can't grab branded fusion, obviously, because we don't have it. But there's the other... What is it called? What's the spell card called? Branded Opening. Branded Opening is the other one you can grab. And then it obviously adds, like... It's not really protection for your fusions, but it gives you, like, interaction that interacts with your own fusion monsters, which is also kind of good. It's not useless, but it can be used as a bad example. A Blaster in Shiranui was annoying. Banish Blaster, add Tenpai Chandra. I think we're maybe a little bit too early for Tenpai, but who knows? Who even knows at this rate? Like, I mean, saying that, we're only just getting the branded stuff now. We're only just getting Adamancipators, so I still feel like we're a ways off from actual, like, modern, right? So then we get Adamancipator Researcher. If you control a rock monster except Researcher, you can special summon this card from your hand. And it's a tuner, very, very important. During the main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. If you do, you can special summon 1 excavated level 4 or lower non-rock tuner monster. Also place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. You can only use each effect once per turn. So you summon a monster, you then special summon Researcher, Researcher's effect, take a look at the top 5, grab another monster, special summon that monster. We got 3 monsters on the board. We have a level 2 tuner. A load of our monsters we're going to be summoning from the deck are going to be like level 4, so we can easily go to like a 6. Easy peasy. Very, very strong card. Very, very strong card. And also, apparently my music has stopped working. I'm just going to fix that. Is Metarion become meta again? It's looking probable. Flop, flop, flop. Bait, bait, bait. Wait, are you talking about Adamancipator? Kim friend? Like, what don't you like? What don't you like here? Oh, good, Kim's here. We can't have a good discussion about Yu-Gi-Oh! Without Kim friend in the chat, okay? Ancient Chant, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care about Ra. I don't really like the deck. I don't really know how the modern version of this deck's meant to play. It doesn't really interest me. I'm just going to skip it. Adamancipator are going to be extremely scary in Duel Links with 20 card decks. They're always going to hit. Yes. I think that's true. I think the chances of this whiffing should be very, very low, depending on how we build the decks, obviously. I got no idea. Duel Links is... Duel Links, no skill, no good. I mean, we did have Sky Striker for the longest time. Was a completely meta-viable deck without a skill. We have had Unchained, again, was a meta-viable deck without a skill. Like, I think it's fine. Where do we go for the leaks now? Man skipped Quantum's Balls. We always skip Quantum's Balls. So the new website is Duel Links Guide. Duel Links Guide is the new one. Possible divine monster from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be coming on Rush. I mean, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. Gallic Granite will be absolutely ludicrous. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, a beast monster and a fiend monster. This card's name becomes Chimera, the flying mythical beast. While on the field of the graveyard, you can only use each effect of it once per turn. If the card is fusion summoned, you can activate the effect. Send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard during the end phase of this turn. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 beast, fiend, or illusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Okay. Without seeing how this deck plays, I'm not sure how useful these effects are. But I guess we'll just keep reading and see if it clicks. So this is made using Chimera and an illusion monster. This card's name becomes Chimera, the flying mythical beast, while on the field of graveyard. This card can attack monsters a number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials used for it. Okay. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed. At the end of the damage step, this card battles an opponent's monster, you can change that monster to 0. Okay, so this is the win con. We get this out, use like 8 material to make it, or 5, or however much we can get away with. We need what? We only need 3 to guarantee lethal, right? Again, assuming our opponent doesn't have anything. Because we ram into it, no matter what its attack, it doesn't matter, it goes down to 0. Second attack, 3,100. Third attack, 3,100. Okay, so we have a win con. That's good to know. I see the Beast plus Fiend Imp. Edge Imp. How about Egyptian God cards turning into maximum monsters in Rush? What do you think of that? I think that would be cool. I would like, personally, I think what would be really cool is if you have them as a middle piece that's just them, right? It's just their card. It's just a middle maximum piece. And you can summon it by tributing 3 monsters. And if you do, it gains, like, extra effects. But you can also summon it in maximum mode. So you could either treat it as a tribute summon that takes 3 tributes, bam, does cool shit. Or you maximum summon it with its side pieces. I think that would be a really cool way to do them, because you want to make them feel a bit special, a bit more unique, right? So we have Amazement, don't care about that. We have Surgical Striker Hamp. So if you control Sky Strike an ace monster, you can special summon this card from your hand by either to either field by tributing one monster from that field. You can only special summon Hamp once per turn this way. When this card is destroyed by battle. Okay. How good is this card? I'm trying to like picture this. I figure for the most part you want to summon this to your opponent's board. I assume if we destroy it ourselves, it goes to our graveyard, we'll get the trigger to pop a card on our opponent's field. It's garbage. I don't remember seeing this card. Like, this card looks cool. I think the art on this card looks sick. That's out as well. Because I think the chat is going to keep getting in the way. We will turn the chat off for now. We'll turn it back on if we remember afterwards. I think it's just going to keep overlapping with the text, and it's going to make it hard for everyone to read. Hamp is really bad. Baphomet Chimera combo discards the snake. Add Mirror Sword, normal summon sword, tribute Mirror Sword, special summon Baphomet, add Fusion, add Lion Fusion, special summon back, Mirror Sword to activate during your opponent's standby phase. Okay, I'll have to read Mirror Sword when we get to it. Since they already created Xyz monsters in Rush format. Yeah, but they have done retrains, right? So we'll have to see what they do, right? Then we have Cypher. Cypher is a weird card. I don't think this is very good, but I think it's cool. Then we have Dramaturge. If a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster is special summoned, you can target one effect monster on the field, negate its effects to the end of this turn. So that's already quite good. This card's in your hand or field is used as fusion material. Sent to the graveyard or banish, you can special summon this card. So you want to use this as fusion material, right? Then you get to special summon it, and then you can use its effect to negate something. That's pretty okay. I would imagine this would be a one-of at max, personally. I don't see you running more than one copy of this. I did play this at one copy in Limited, and I did like the way it felt. But it's always very difficult to know how things are going to translate in, like, 30-card decks. So I'm not really sure. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a one-of. What do you think of Kite's deck in Zexal? Now there is new Galaxy Eyes. What do we think of Kite's deck in Zexal? I don't understand the question. Like, Kite's a cool character. I personally always preferred him in Arc V, but... Then we have Despian Quiritis. Made using a Despian monster and a light or dark monster. During the main phase, main effect, you can change the attack of all monsters currently on the field to 0 to the end of this turn, except level 8 or higher fusion monsters, so it won't work on itself. If this face-up card in the owner's control leaves the field because of your opponent's card effect, you can add to your hand or special summon Fallen of Albaz or one Despian monster. And don't forget as well, that same effect will trigger, or the same activation condition will also trigger Aluba, which is also pretty good. You can only use each effect of it once per turn. I mean, this card's good. It's just good. It's just good. Since he has the line with Cypher Galaxy decks. I mean, I don't think this card is going to do enough to make that deck suddenly, like, really good. Let's put it that way. Says Blaze. Again, I don't really care about the Winged Dragon of our cards, to be honest. So we have Adamancipate Arisen Dragite. So this is the level 8. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. If you do, you can return cards your opponent controls to the hand up to the number of excavated rock monsters. Also place the excavated cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So theoretically, this should be hitting like 3 minimum, depending on how we're building the deck. No, one moment. Alright. So this seems pretty good, right? And it's just cards. So if you do flip 5, you just basically dismantle your opponent's entire board. Again, assuming it resolves. When your opponent activates a spell or trap effect while a water monster is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can negate the activation. So this is fantastic going first or going second. It's been a while since I played with these cards, by the way. But this seems really good. Like, really, really good. The only issue is it's level 8, so getting out might be a bit of a pain, because obviously this is a 2, this one's a 2 as well, so you're going to need, like, probably 2 other monsters, unless we're going to climb into it, which I guess we could climb into it. So if I remember, we do have a 6 and a 7? So then we have Seeker. If you control add a monster, special summon this card, exactly the same. During your main phase, activate the top 5 cards of your deck. Special summon activate level 4 or lower rock non-tuner. Place the rest of the bottom of your deck. What is the difference between these cards? They're both tuners. They're both level 2. You control... As this one needs an Adamancipator monster, except itself. This one needs a rock monster, except itself. Is that the only difference? Level 4 or lower, non-rock, non-tuner rock, non-tuner rock. Yeah, okay, I think that's the only difference. So basically it's just like... It's like having 6 copies of it, right? Will the new Cypher Galaxy help this deck? I mean, it's not going to hurt the deck. It's going to be, like, fine. But I don't think this card is good enough to suddenly give it, like, a massive spike in playability. When do you think we get Creator of Light card in Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, who even knows? Who even knows? Alright, now we get down to these ones. So we have the Illusions. If this card battles a monster, blah, 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 you can use each effect once per turn. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target one Fiend or Illusion monster you control, except Talons. Return it to the hand. If you do, special summon this card from your hand. Okay. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card in your possession, quick effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls, return this card from the field to the hand. If you do, destroy that monster. I mean, this seems fine. I don't know. I use Cypher Galaxy X in Master Duel Tachyon. It's quite good, but not great. There we go. So we have Tau the Chanter. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target an illusion monster in your graveyard, except this one. Special summon it in defense. You cannot special summon from the graveyard throughout the turn except illusions. Okay. And then this is meant to be the really good one, right? Sword Knight? No, yeah, Mirror Sword Knight. I believe this is meant to be the good one. If this card battles a monster, neither player can be destroyed. That's just the standard thing. You can only use each effect once per turn. Quick effect, you can tribute this card. Special summon one monster that mentions Chimera Fusion from your deck, except this one. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect while you control Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, quick effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard and negate that effect. This seems pretty good. This one does seem really good. Tribute it to special summon a monster that mentions Chimera Fusion. What are we summoning with Chimera Fusion? We did get like a breakdown, didn't we? Discard Snake, add Mirror Sword, Normal Sword, Tribute Sword, summon Baphomet. Do we have the Baphomet? It's this one, right? So we want to summon this. If this card is normal special summoned, you can add a level 4 beast and or Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. So you just play him, sack him, get out this guy who immediately then gets you 2 more cards to hand. I mean, that seems pretty good. This card sent to the graveyard material for fusion summon. You can target illusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So then you fuse off with this, and then get to also get another plus. This card seems pretty crazy. Planning to use it to upgrade my Cypher deck. I mean, hopefully it works. Card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. You can discard this card, add one monster that mentions Chimera Fusion from your deck. Yeah, so it's literally this, into this, into this, into the fusion. Chimera looking free to play. Yes, it looks very, very free to play friendly, which is nice because it means I'll be able to play it. I mean, we're going to have all of it anyway, I suppose. We're going through this box 3 times. 2 monsters of different types, Beast, Fiend, or Illusion. This card's name becomes Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast while on the field of the graveyard, so the third one has a line. You can only use each of the following effects of Baphomet, the Mythical King of Phantom Beasts, once per turn. When this card is fusion summoned, you can send a Beast, Fiend, or Illusion from your deck to graveyard. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monsters, except Baphomet, and special summon it. Okay. I mean, the deck seems really good. During the main phase, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including Beast or Fiends. During your main phase, this card's in your graveyard, and you have Chimera on your field or in your graveyard. You can activate one of the following effects. Add this card to your hand, banish this card. If you do, special summon one Gazelle and Baphomet from your hand, from your deck and or graveyard. Okay. So it's a quick effect, it's a quick play card, but it has to be during the main phase. What is the benefit of this? What are we chaining this to? I assume there's like part of the combo. Let's go up and see what the combo said. Special Buffman, add Fusion, Lion, Special Summon, add Black Mirror, activate during your opponent's standby phase. I still don't know what the benefit of this being quick play is. I assume someone's going to know, but I don't know what it is. It would be a lot easier to explain the combo in voice. Even with speech to text, it's hard for me to explain it quickly or thoroughly. It's okay, we just need like the hard and fast version, right? We don't need like the in-depth. Tomato Shiny Shady is coming, it's over! Nah, we'll be fine. It just means that the OTK meta should die down a little bit, right? That's the hope. We got True Sun God, we got some more shit. Branded and Red. I want to go over the branded stuff again a little bit. Target a Despia monster or Fawn of Outbows in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. Then you can apply the following effect. Fusion summon a level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion monsters listed from your hand or field. Cannot attack directly this turn. So, I mean, this card's just really good, right? We get to add a Despia or Fawn of Outbows back to our hand. Then we get to immediately fusion summon. We could, for example, use the Dramaturge to go into Querterus. Then Dramaturge's effect activates and summons itself. Then we have High Spirits. Reveal one monster from your hand. Send one level 8 fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard with the same type that has 2500 attack or defense. Then you can apply this effect. Discard the revealed monster. If you do, add Fawn of Outbows or a monster that lists that card in its text from your deck to your hand. During the end phase, if a fusion monster was sent to your graveyard this turn, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Fusion adds itself back to your hand. You set it and fuse on the opponent's turn. We want to go to things like Guardian Chimera. The thing is, we don't have Guardian Chimera, do we? Am I being stupid? I could just be being stupid. If we don't have Guardian Chimera in Duel Links, then we're not going to be able to do anything with that. Probably going to have to borrow fusions from other decks, like Predator Plant. Probably. I'm pretty sure we don't have Guardian Chimera. Yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking, right? Because otherwise everyone would be playing it. So we have Ad Libitum of Despia. Big old level 8 with really bad stats. During your main phase, you can make all face-up monsters currently on the field gain attack equal to the level times 100 until the end of this turn. If this card is used material for the fusion summon from hand or field and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can target one of your Despia monsters or one of your level 8 or... We'll just go back to that quick. Where was I? Over here. Level 8 or higher fusion monsters that's banished from your graveyard, except Ad Libitum and special summon it. I mean, that's fine. Like, you maybe play this as a one-off? I don't know. It's a weird one. I really don't know, like, what the actual ratios are going to look like in this deck. So it's hard to, like, know how it's going to be at the moment. Bundle got revealed, and it's not Guiding Chimera. Selection box boss. I mean, it definitely could be. And there's Chimera Guardian, which... So this is going to be an Adamancipator card for the most part, right? Like, that's where this card's going to really become strong. The thing is, Adamancipators looks like it could be really good, right? Because you can go... You could end on, like, Guardian Dragrite, and that's, like, at least 2 points of interaction. I don't know what traps you're going to have access to. Alright, branded opening. Discard a card, take a Despia monster from your deck. Either add it to your hand or special summon it in defense position. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except fusions. If a fusion monster you control be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish the card from your graveyard instead. So a bit of protection is always nice. We have Leolite, which is the level 6. So this is the one that should be the easiest to summon, theoretically. Unless this one's a 5. No, it's another 6. Well, they're both 6s, okay. During the main phase, you can activate the top 5 cards of your deck. Add an activated Adamancipator card to your hand. During your opponent's turn, if a fire monster is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target a rock monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Okay. Then we have Raptite. So, activate top 5 cards, special summon a rock monster in defense position. If a wind monster is in your graveyard during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. So these two are, I mean, they're still good, but like, this is the real good one, let's be honest. Then we have Friends, excavate cards to the top of your deck, equal to the number of rock monsters you control, plus 5. If you do, you can add one excavated rock card from whose level is less than or equal to the number of excavated cards. Also place the rest at the bottom of your deck. For the rest of the turn, this turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except rocks. This is just a good card, just straight up. Then we have the other Adamancipator. This is Analyzer. If only your opponent controls a monster, so it's got that kind of Cyber Dragon clause. And then it does the exact rest of it, just summon another one from, or a card from the top of your deck. We have Signs. Target a rock monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Then, if you special summoned an Emancipate a monster by its effect, you can take one level 4 or lower rock monster from your deck, place it on top of the deck. I mean, this is just really good. We have Wall, another just good card for that deck. And we have Doki Doki as well. Doki Doki could be pretty good as well. You could discard a rock monster, special summon this card. I mean, this card's already out, so we don't really need to it. And then that's kind of it, right? I think we need to look at, like, every single card. Then we have, like, the little rocks. We've got some of the other fusion stuff. That's basically fine. Guys, Canyon! It's Canyon! Amazing Canyon. I'm looking forward to this box. We will be opening this tomorrow, and I'll probably be playing this on stream on Sunday. That is probably going to be the plan. We're going to see what we can do. We might not be playing branded. We might be playing like Adamant Space or something. I'm not really sure. But with all that said and done, now it's time to crack on with the Rush stuff, okay? We've kind of been tiptoeing around it. We talked about this a little bit already, but I think it is time we dived into the meat and potatoes. So, deck build box. Forbidden Fantastic Show. I suppose before we get onto this, we should mention that we do have an animation trigger for Ensemble Fighter the Music Fiend. Which just means there's more Tiger stuff going into the back end. So theoretically, Tiger is right around the corner, which will be pretty exciting. So I am looking forward to that. But this box is kinda nuts. This is kinda nuts. Metarion, I'm back. The bundle got revealed, and it's not Guiding Chimera, selection box boss. Yeah, exactly. So let's take a look at, like, the least interesting one first, and that is going to be YAMILUNA, the Dark Devotee. So YAMILUNA is a cool card, right? If we have YAMILUNA the Dark Delayer face up on our field, we can special summon this card from your hand, face up to your field. So we just get a free 2500 body. That's pretty good. We can change the battle position of one face monster on our field. So the logic is, ideally, we want to go tribute out a YAMILUNA, activate YAMILUNA effect, change it to defense to floodgate our opponent. Then summon out the YAMILUNA, change YAMILUNA back to attack. And now YAMILUNA gets an extra 500 attack and piercing. So now we have a 3000 piercer, which is good. And we've floodgated our opponent, which is also pretty good. And those things on their own are pretty cool. The issue we have is we're going to want to run the fusion, right? The fusion is going to be quite important to survive a lot of, like, the OTK type matchups, unless we just forego the fusion entirely, but that does feel a bit weird. So in an ideal world, I feel like you want to play this, but would only have 2 copies of YAMILUNA, depending on, again, how we build the deck. Which makes it a bit awkward, because it's like this isn't going to be live all the time. Me, YAMILUNA, don't be good. Probably just playable. So, with the addition of the trap cards, right? Like, theoretically, you could play, like, Shiny Shady. You could play Legend Trap. You could play Riding. You could play just 3 YAMILUNA. Don't even bother with the Yamiterasu. And then play, like, YAMILUNA Control. I don't think that's necessarily going to be very good, but it's something you could do. We'll simply get Gavin's skill that adds Luna if you have Ruler on field. I mean, that would be cool. Well, the other thing that we do now have is this. So this is Sayanin the Blazing Conqueror. So this is a 1000 attack, 1200 defense. If you have no monsters on your field, you can add a level 8 fire or dark attribute warrior type monster from your graveyard to your hand. So obviously, we can use this to get back YAMILUNA, we can get this to get back YAMILUNA, there's a lot of stuff we can do with this. But you could also use this to get back your baseball boss, right? Now, I don't think you should, because for the most part, home run hitter is going to be better in the graveyard because you want grounder. But, like, technically, this is support for baseball. Again, I don't think you should probably play this in baseball, because you want grounder back. If this got back a dragon, that would be perfect, but it doesn't. The trap not working with the fusion is such a bummer. I mean, potentially. Probably just playable. We will simply... bro, I'm gonna be a METARION main again. Wait, whole main speed box. Why rush here? What do you mean? God, Urkarina. What do you mean, Urkarina? We've already looked at the whole speed box. Now we're looking at the rush leaks. But yeah, Sayanen's pretty good. YAMILUNA can use the version with the bird too. I could. The issue with that is how many bricks you end up playing, right? Because if you're playing Ice Arc, you now need to commit to having like 7 bosses. And you want as many different names as possible for Ice Arc to like work smoothly, so it's a bit awkward. Then we'll take a look at Imaginary Leading Actor. So 2500 attack is a good stat line. 500 defense, obviously it needs to be 500 defense because that's how the archetype works. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So this might seem a bit unassuming. Milling 3 is actually really strong, especially in Duel Links. Because with only 30 card decks, you're milling 10% of your deck. That means the chances that you get important stuff in the graveyard you want to be in the graveyard is now a lot higher, which is actually really, really good. Then, this turn, this card's name becomes Imaginary Actor. Then you can add 1 light attribute normal monster with 500 defense and or 1 fusion from your graveyard to your hand. So that is also really good. Effectively, we tribute 2 to get this out, and then we immediately get those 2 back to our hand because we get a +2 off this card. It's sort of like Extra Plora, if you think about it like that. Now, this card also becomes Imaginary Actor, which means we can use it for our fusion plays as well. So it's not just like a 2500 body that's taking up space. Obviously, we can keep it as a 2500 body if we want it, or we can get rid of it, right? Which is also a nice bit of versatility. Same thing with version skill with YAMILUNA, yeah. But this card is good. This card is really good. The downside with this card is it doesn't plus us. And that is a problem we're getting with a lot of these cards, is they don't really plus. Now, what we do have, though, is a little card called Imaginary Reactor that does still give us that +2 and does still also become Imaginary Actor. So, that is probably where we're going to try and get all of our plussing from, as well as they have a skill that just puts Monster Reincarnation in the graveyard. And if we're playing like 3 Leading Actor, for example, we have 9 extra mills, as well as like the 6 mills we get from Reactor. So the chance of getting it in the graveyard should also be a lot higher, which means this deck could actually end up being really, really consistent. And I think that's the scary bit, is if we can go 3 cards deep multiple times. Let's say we're playing 2 or 3 of this. We're looking at like a 6 to 9 dig, right? That's pretty big. Like, we're already starting out with 5 cards in hand. So just immediately we're going to be that deep through the deck. But then we also have Imaginary Arc Talents, which we can't see very well. We'll scroll down a bit so we can see that. So this card, excavate the top 4 cards of your deck. You can send 1 excavated light attribute normal monster with 500 defense or an excavated fusion to the graveyard. Place the other cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then if you send the card to the graveyard, you can draw a card. So the chance of hitting something should be quite high. As long as we don't just hit like a bunch of spells, I guess, that aren't... Well, I suppose we could also hit reactors and leading actors, so like that could also get annoying. But as long as this hits something, we get a draw off of it. And again, this is going to set up our graveyard. Now, the only issue I could see with this is the main reason to set up the graveyard is going to be for Imaginary Leading Actor, but also Star Restart. Star Restart is currently limit 3, which means if Shady does come out at limit 3, it's going to be hard to fit it in this deck. But I don't know if this deck would play Shady anyway, because this is kind of going to be a very combo-centric deck. So generally in Rush, the more combo-heavy your deck is, the fewer traps you play. That's just kind of a thing. Because obviously you want to just draw the pieces. But in Duel Links, we have 10 less cards in deck, we have skills, so it doesn't matter as much. So like, it'll be interesting to see what actually happens with like deck building here. They better give us a turnover. Argent, but better. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... Argent can +2 you, and Argent's on a body. If you play Arc Talents and you whiff, you've just -1'd for nothing. Can you put the link in the chat? Yeah, I can put the link in the chat. There you go. So, I feel like between these two cards, you're going to turbo through your deck so fast. You're going to set up the graveyard very, very quickly with everything you're going to want. You should have fusion access a lot, because this will just get you fusion, and this can dig, hopefully, into a fusion. And that was obviously the issue that Metarions had for the longest time. And then we have the new boss monster for Metarion Star. So made using Imaginary Actor, which again, Reactor, Actor, and Leading Actor could all count as Imaginary Actor. And a level 9 Cyborg monster. So notably, this is level 10, so you can't go like full Metarion into a full Metarion, right? Place one card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. That's the big downside with this, is quite a heavy card investment. So having to give up an extra card does kind of suck. But then we get to special summon a level 9 Cyborg monster from your graveyard to your field. Now, notably, this doesn't have to be a Star. It's probably going to be a Star, because a Star is really good. But theoretically, you could summon any of them, right? Or, this card gains attack equal to the attack of one face-up non-Cyborg type monster on the opponent's field. So, most of the time, this basically kind of says, I'm going to basically attack you directly, right? I'm going to attack over your monster. Your monster's going to die, but you're going to take 3,200 damage because for the most part, I'm going to be attacking over something that I'm taking its attack of. Now, there will be some situations where your opponent has like a strong monster and a weak monster. You could absorb the strong monster's attack over the weak monster and get a lot more damage in. So that's also important to take note of. Thank you for following Nelson Stella. Welcome, welcome. But this is pretty good, right? So as we were saying before, if we're going to summon these cards out, we're going to have to normal summon, tribute, activate fusion to go into, and let's say an Ashura Star. Then we'd summon out another copy of Imaginary Actor, whichever one we're using, like React, it could be Reactor. Activate fusion again. Bam, we can go into full Metarion Ashura Star. Now let's assume we've used the skill. The skill has put Monster Reincarnation into the graveyard. So now when we use Reactor, we put that back, we get a 3+2. So now we have 2 cards left over. Which means now we can activate the effect of full Metarion Ashura Star to summon out regular Ashura Star. And now we have 1 card left over. So we've managed to summon out a 3,200, a 2,800. We've had 2 activations of Ashura Star regular because we could use its effect, then fuse it off, then bring it back, then use its effect again. Now, the only downside with that is the monster that we summon with full Metarion Ashura Star's effect has to come out defense mode. So we would need another fusion and another Imaginary Actor to fuse it off again, which is very unlikely. Suddenly we're now looking at like we need to plus even more, which is going to be really difficult. Now, this is not too difficult to do in the OCG because we have some other cards that we have access to. But we will take a look at those in a minute, right? I do want to like just get through the rest of these first, and then we'll move on to looking at like some OCG stuff that's going on with the Ashura Stars. So next up we have Tamainbot. This card is just bad. So this card isn't like awful, right? Making it is quite easy. 2,000 attack is bad. Your opponent draws 1 card and shows it. If it's a monster, you gain attack. That's, you know, let's say your opponent is at 25, this goes up to 45, whatever. You have to play Tamabot in this deck to make this work. This is not very good, realistically. So, it's not really much to say about that. And then, obviously, we have Shady. Now, Shady is a game changer. This card is one of the strongest cards in the OCG right now. So, when your opponent normal or special summons a monster during their turn, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Choose up to 2 face-up effect monsters on the field. Now, notably, we can use this on our field and our opponent's field. So sometimes your opponent will summon out 1 guy, and then you'll flip his down and one of yours down. Because you're like, well, I don't want my Wimp in attack mode, so I can just flip it down, right? Then, if you chose a monster on your opponent's field with 2,600 or more original attack, you gain 1,500 life points. So this is a really, really good tool to also just gain life points to try and not get OTK'd, as well as trying to stop your opponent's OTK. So just in general, really, really strong card. Just a really, really, really good card. The only real downsides with this card is it's only effect monsters that you can flip, and we have to discard a card. So we have to keep a card in our hand in order to use this. Other than that, this card is ridiculous. Like, actually ridiculous. So, if we take a look at some current decks, right? This is a tournament-winning deck from the current OCG. This deck won a tournament, I want to say, like 2 weeks ago. This deck, as you can see, 3 Shiny Shady. This is the best deck in the game right now. This is called Chaos Ritual. This is a ritual deck that summons, you know, Magician of Black Chaos, which you can see down here. But this is a, like we say, a modern deck, a modern tournament-winning deck. It's playing 3 Shady, right? But it's not just this deck. This is another tournament-winning deck. This is Animagica, another, like, really strong deck right now. And what do we see? 3 copies of Shiny Shady. This is a card that is seeing widespread play in multiple decks right now in the OCG, which just is trying to just hammer home this point of it's a really, really strong card. Here we have another tournament-winning deck. And what do we see once again? Shiny Shady. So this is Magnet Warriors, but Magnet Warriors does play this like little side package of Christ, what are they even called? What are they called? The Dark Galaxy deck that isn't Voidveil. My brain isn't working. Dark Matter. Dark Matter. This plays like a Dark Matter package. So this is like Dark Matter gadgets. And once again, 3 Shiny Shady. So, like, again, it's just, it's mind-boggling that we're getting this card. Like, this card is so good. And I would not be surprised if Shiny Shady is just a staple, like, if not forever, for, like, the next, like, 2 years, right? Unless they, like, hit it. It's kind of nuts. Trap spam the deck. I mean, you're not wrong. Konami will give us Heavy Storm with Tiger in the next month. I mean, we have, you got to remember, in OCG, we have Jinzo, we have Harpy's Feather Duster, we have Heavy Storm, we have Giant Trunade, we have all of these cards. So, nothing's off the table. And then here, make this a bit smaller. This is a tournament-winning METARION deck. This is what an OCG METARION deck looks like. And what do we see here, guys? It's Shiny Shady back at it again. But yeah, these are the kind of ratios that people play in, you know, the OCG. We're seeing 2 leading actor, 3 reactor, 3 regular actor. We got the 3 sword dancer, 3 Serpainter. We got 3 juggler. Then we have the, oh Christ, which one's this? This is Evil Baller, which is the Fiend one. Obviously, we don't have access to this card, so it's a little bit irrelevant. We do still play the Monster Reincarnation, even without a skill, obviously, because Reactor is just that good. Then we have this spell card. This spell card is called Metarion Fusion. So this is the key thing that we're missing, right? This is what would basically, if we had this, we would effectively have it at full power. So Fusion summon a Cyborg-type monster by sending monsters from your hand and or field to the graveyard as material. Then you can add Fusion or 1 monster sent to the graveyard by this effect from your graveyard to your hand. So first off, this lets you fuse from hand or field, right? Which means it's kind of like polymerization. Now, for Metarion, that doesn't matter so much, because the only card that's really going to be relevant to is the Fairy one, which we don't have, and the Snake Clown. So Snake Clown doesn't matter. The important part is the second part. Then you can add Fusion or 1 monster sent to the graveyard back to your hand. So this basically gives you a +1 when you fuse, which is so good. Because this now lets you quite easily get out, like, you know, your Fusion monster and then go into a full Metarion, or you just get back some of the cost. Like, it's just in general a really good card. With this card, probably Metarion will be tier 0. A face-down field is relevant, I guess. It can be, like, right now, that's what? Star Replacer is the only card that's really gonna actually Shady would matter. Shady would matter. So yeah, Shady's a big one. But again, we don't have this card, but this is what we're missing. This is what we're missing. You could put the 3rd Fusion on the board. Yes. I mean, this card's just like, it's fantastic, right? It's absolutely fantastic, but we don't have it. But what else are we missing, right? So we've got the Fusions. We have this spell card. is a just good generic spell. It gets you back normal monsters from the graveyard. It gets you back fusion from the graveyard. It mills some cards. It's just generically a good card. Not really much to say about it. It's a good staple card that when it does come out, we'll be seeing a lot of play in a lot of decks. We have the... Oh, Christ, what's this card called? We literally just said it a couple minutes ago, and I've already forgotten what it's called. But you know what this card is. Brain old. Brain no work. Then we have Jest. Jest is, again, it's just a staple card. It's whatever. And then we get to this trap card. This is Imaginary Arc Turnover. And this is a really powerful trap. This is like the other piece of the puzzle that we're kind of lacking here. So when your opponent normal or special summons a monster, the fact this is normal or special summon is really important, right? This is something that comes up a lot where you'll have like cards that only work on normal or only work on special, and it gets a little bit annoying with when you can activate them. Being able to do it on either is really, really good. We get to fusion summon a cyborg type monster by shuffling monsters from your field and or graveyard into the owner's deck as material. So during our opponent's turn when they summon a monster, we can immediately use Miracle Fusion from our graveyard, which is immediately get to fuse something from the graveyard. And then we destroy a face-up level 8 or lower monster. Now, it's obviously level 8 or lower, so it's a little bit restrictive, but that's still nuts, right? Your opponent summons a guy, we pop their guy, and we get a big body on the board, which is just so nuts. It's so good. It's so ridiculously good. Well, Curse became popular because of Shady. Potentially. There's a non-0% chance that happens. The issue is, Curse is a lot stronger when you can activate it immediately. So now you have to, like, bait out your opponent's trap and then use Curse, and it can get a little bit awkward. Which is why it works so well against Sunset Rebirth, because Sunset Rebirth is a trap card that people use in the draw step. So it's very easy to be like, well, immediately, if I know my opponent's playing Sunset, I just play Curse, and then I counter it. What's the other star spell? I want that, the Add Fusion and Normal. Yeah, I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's really good. But again, the issue with that card is everyone would play it. You play it in Heroes. Any fusion deck that plays normal monsters, you would play it, because it's just that good. It's just that good. Star at the beginning, yeah. Thank you, Shari. That one. But yeah, this trap card is obviously insane as well. These are what we're missing. If we had both of these, then we'd basically have this deck, right? Obviously, we're still missing a few little bits and bobs like Baller, but like you don't need Baller. Baller's just like extra spice. I suppose the other thing we're missing is the other Formatarian. So this is Formatarian Vitristar. We'll just talk about this card briefly. This is the Vitristar fusion, and it's multi-choice effect, special summon a level 9 psychic cyborg type monster from your graveyard to your defense position, so exactly the same as the other one. Or it can destroy a face-up non-cyborg type monster in your opponent's field. Pretty good. Then we have Amaro Star, which is the fairy one. Again, doesn't really matter, we're not getting this card, but just to give you an idea of what we could be getting later. Multi-choice effect, look at all face-down cards on your opponent's field. Then you can destroy all spell cards. It's neat. Or take control of one face-up non-maximum fairy-type monster on the opponent's field. That's obviously the anti-type effect. Then we have Metarion Genius Star. This is the rock one. So if you have 10 or more cards in your deck, you can either draw a card or shuffle up to 6 rock-type monsters from your opponent's graveyard into the deck. Inflict 1400 damage to your opponent. Again, it's a bit of a weird one. This one doesn't really see any play. And then there's Medusa Star. This is the Evil Baller one, so this is the one that actually does see a bit of play. Place one monster from your graveyard at the bottom of your deck, and a multi-choice effect, one face-down spell trap on your opponent's field cannot be activated to the end of their next turn, or destroy a face-up fiend monster. So, just in general, pretty cool cards. Pretty cool cards. But again, the ones that really matter are the fusion and the trap card. Like, outside of those two, nothing else matters quite so much. But this is kind of like, this is huge, right? Because if we think about this, right? How is the average turn of this deck going to go? I'm trying to, like, picture this in my head. Let's assume Shady isn't limit 3. Do we even, like, put Shady in this deck? I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious as to, like, what our list looks like. What we might try and do is we might, like, just grab a deck builder and then see what we can do with this. Alright, let's go... Imaginary. Oh, that's the wrong place. That's why it's not working. Alright, so we'd definitely be using 3 of this. Definitely having some number of those. Probably having some number of those. Definitely having some number of those. Or having one of those. Or 3 of those. I have a non-zero number of those. 2 or 3 of those. I'm still not sure. We'd have 3 of this. We don't have any of the trap cards. We'd need Fusion at 3 copies. We'd also probably want Star Restart. What else are we needing in here? We're going to need Reincarnation. We're going to need all of our 500 defense cards. So we're going to need Sword, Dancer. We're going to need Circuit Painter. I assume we're going to play Juggler. I would assume. I don't know. Probably, because we want to just hit like a critical mass of the 500 defense cards. Because this is already 29 cards. We don't even have a legend trap yet. So let's say, I don't know, Compulse. We have Vanilla, Warrior, Dragon, and Spellcaster. Yeah, this is kind of like... I think this is like my first attempt at the deck. This looks fine. Now again, we might want more trap cards in here. Because like, if we think about this logically, right? Let's say best case scenario. We activate the skill, dump, Reincarnation, summon Reactor. Reactor's effect gives us a +2, right? So now we have 7 cards to work with. We go 3 into boss, another 2 into boss, discard a card, get a boss back from the graveyard. That's like fine. That's 6 cards for us to get out 2 fusion monsters. One of them's going to be stuck in defense position, which like, again, is not fantastic, right? We don't really want to have our guys stuck in defense. But I guess it is what it is. You can do a test hand, I think. The gun is better than compulsory. I don't know if I think that's true. It could be true. I just don't know if I'm just going to be like automatically 100% that is accurate. I think it's something I would want to test for sure. How do you do test hands in this? I genuinely have no idea. I've never tried before. Other than the fulls, are we getting any other fusions? No, this is literally everything we're getting. You got to remember, it's just a deck build. Ah. Alright, this is our open. We draw a card. We set, pass. Next hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our follow-up. Our board's been wiped. This is our new hand. We activate talents. So we reveal the top 4. We send this to the graveyard. We get another draw. So now we have this, and this. We have bricked and we don't have a play. Okay. If that happens, it's looking kind of dire. But if our Star Restart survived, we're in an okay spot, right? We just get a body back. Get rid of one of these back into the deck. Now we can make full power Winged Dragon of Ra. I don't think that's going to happen for us at the very least, to tell you that. Epic gameplay. This is just how we do. This is just how we do. Alright, let's go again. We have this. Oh, we didn't use the skill either. That's another thing we didn't do. Alright, so we'll draw. I guess we just immediately activate Arc Talents. I guess we'd probably set all of this, to be honest. We'd probably just set all 5. And then we'd pass. Again, assuming we went first. Then we'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be our new hand. We would summon Reactor, activate Reactor. So this would then mill 2. So those 2 are in the graveyard. Then we would draw 2. Then we could activate the skill and put Reincarnation back in the graveyard. We activate Talents and look at the top 4. Send one of those to the graveyard. And then we get a draw. So we have Fusion now. We have 2 Fusion. We would have to activate Star Restart. Because at this point we have like 3 Star Restarts on our hand. Probably get rid of another Star Restart. We have 2 Fusion as well though. This is awkward. This is very awkward. We go into leading... We have to get back a body. We tribute 2 to summon out Leading Actor. Activate Leading Actor. Get back a... Because we won't even have Fusion in the graveyard. Hmm. Yeah, it's hard to know without actually playing it, I think. Tomato losing with no opponent? All the time, all the time. Is that Giorfio Sesso in the chat? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome on in. We're just taking a look at the new stuff and trying to, like, theory craft some stuff that we could do with it. Reminder, Mismatched Rivalry is still at limit 1, yet we are already having conversations about Shady. I'm sure it'll get unhit eventually, right? It must do, it must do. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. METARION is back. Yes, Dino, METARION is back. Open 2 Duel Links meta. Duel against yourself. The issue there is trying to do the mental gymnastics of remembering what both sides have on the board, what's in their hand and everything, is just not feasible. Like, realistically, if you want to do that, I think you're better off using Dueling Book. Let's take a look at, like, a going second, right? So if we go new hand, we're going second this time. Our opponent's done their thing. It's our turn. Draw for turn. Activate Imaginary Arc Talents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Send probably Serpainter to the graveyard. So we have Serpainter in grave. We get a draw. This is in our hand. We can go... The downside here... Alright, no. The play was not send Serpainter, it was send Fusion, because we have Leading Actor. So then we'll summon Sword Dancer, summon Serpainter, tribute both for Leading Actor. Leading Actor effect activates, we get back the Fusion that we sent, and we get back one of these bodies, probably Sword Dancer. Then we can summon Sword Dancer, use one of our Fusions, combine into full... No, that just goes into regular METARION. Because then we're lacking the second. So we make Ashura Star. What do we have left after that? We have Fusion. We have Star Restart. So if we wanted to... Yeah, but that doesn't even work because we don't have access to another actor. So we can't extend beyond that because we don't have the regular imaginary actor. So it would just basically be Ashura Star, set some cards pass, which like isn't crazy good. New free-to-play tournament meta. Are we getting the full METARION fusions or just leading actor new spells? Yeah, we're getting... If we take a look back at the leaks again. So this is what we're getting. We're getting YAMILUNA the Dark Devotee. We're getting full METARION Ashura Star. We're getting imaginary leading actor, Tamainabot, which I really don't like that translation, but that's what it is. We have Sayanin, the Blazing Conqueror. Shiny Shady is the really big one. And then we're getting Imaginary Arc Talent. But Shiny Shady is so nuts, man. It's actually so nuts. Like, it just seems so ridiculous that we're getting this card. I think this deck has potential, but I almost think we're better off playing it with Shady and going for like a trap heavy build. The issue is You really... Right, assuming Shady isn't limit 3, that would be fine. But then you have to take 3 spell traps out of this. Because we can't just play, like, what? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12... No, you could totally play 15. We'd probably take one of these out. Take 2 of these out. And then we could just do, like, Shady. Like, unironically, that could be the way to play. Because the issue we have with it at the moment is we're not consistently going to be OTKing. Like, we could play Gun, and that's fine. But then we still need to find Gun to actually get the consistent OTK. Like, we can still totally OTK. It's just it's not going to be one of those OTKs that happens, like, turn 2 every game, right? So part of me feels like we need the Shady, and then we play a control-style deck where we're going to basically go into Ashura and Vritra and use them to just, like, harass your opponent down, keep popping their cards, get damage in where we can, etc., etc. I feel like your plays take too many cards for Shady. It's like Heroes. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But then, like, I feel like because we don't have Gun at 3, I don't see us just OTKing consistently with this. So, like, part of me feels like you need Shady. And then you just... You play around not expecting to go full combo off in one turn. Like, you almost expect to have cards saved over from the last turn, and that's how your, like, big turns are going to come off. Because the thing to remember is, the OCG version of this deck plays a lot of trap cards. And it plays a lot of trap cards because it does play a bit more of a control-style strategy that can still just pop off, right? Like, you don't just play this as a, you know, ridiculous number of spell cards, balls to the wall, combo OTK. You do play this in a bit more of a conserved way. Or reserved way. I'm just concerned that, like, even if we do get the reactor effect off, we do get the +2, we're still making an end board, which is just effectively a full Metarion Ashura Star, and that's it. Because, like, you can get one of these 2 as well, that's fine, but they're going to be in defense position because of how his effect works. So either you're just making this, using the absorb attack effect, punching your opponent for about 3,100 damage, and that's it. Which just doesn't seem good enough. Where's the Excavate 4 spell? They don't play it, because you don't need it in this one. The thing to remember is, Excavating 4 is a lot worse when you're playing a 40-card deck. So because we're playing a 60-card deck, you don't need it, right? But the other issue is that they also have a really good fusion spell, and they also have a really good trap card that we don't have. I think Metarion is pretty mid. Well, okay, 3,200 over a monster. I think that's what I mean. I think it's mid if you look at it as, I'm going to try and end the game this turn. I'm going to summon it. I'm going to kill, right? That is where I think the card feels really underwhelming. I think, again, if we do play it as more of a, like... If we play it more like a control-style strategy and use it as like a control-style boss monster, I think it suddenly looks a lot better. Now, is it going to suddenly be really good? But I think it feels better to play it that way rather than try to play it as an OTK machine. Then if it's a slow deck, how are you going to deal with all those mills? That is the question. That is the $1 million question. Because we don't have many shufflers. In general, in Duel Links, we don't have many shufflers. Like, at this point, this would be where I'd be like, oh yeah, you just use, like, Justicia, right? If he even exists. Why is he not here? Why are we getting all of these cards and not the card I'm actually looking for? There he is. Like, this card would be, like, perfect for this sort of thing, right? Shuffle a Justicia or 4 monsters from your graveyard into the deck, destroy a face-down card. So if you just had 3 of these, this just sorts out your decking out problem. You would just never deck out. You could use this as tribute fodder as well to get out leading actor. But we lack shufflers. Like, at one point, we were lacking millers, and now we're lacking shufflers. Like, the best shuffler we have at the moment is probably what? I mean, other than, like, very type-specific stuff, it's probably... Siesta Torero? I mean, to be honest, this with 7s would be insane. Yes. TSA. Again, TSA has the same issue, where we need shufflers on bodies. Because if it's in the spell... Like, you end up with this. Like, look at how many spell traps this is on. This is a 19 spell trap list, right? How are we fitting extra spell traps in? Do you know what I mean? Hercule. Are you going to be using Hercule as a shuffler, though? Like, are you consistently going to go into multiple Hercule to refill your deck to play the long control game? Like, maybe. Just run 40 cards in Duel Links? Yeah, but then the consistency goes out the window, and then the strength of this spell card goes down, right? The strength of talents. I keep forgetting the name of this card. The ability... The reason talents is better in Duel Links than it would be in OCG, or it should be better in Duel Links than it is in OCG, is because we can almost increase the odds that this hits by so much more, right? Shuffle 1, mill 3, surely we don't dick out. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll be fine. You're with the trap that also shuffles back. Yeah. Yeah, we have the trap in OCG. Small Marek has lines for all the raw cards. We're finally getting the 2 slime cards. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, right? Like, we have these as well. Like, that we know we're getting. Guardian Slime, we're getting Nightmare Steel Cages, Limit 2. We're getting these other slimes. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say this deck has potential, but again, I don't think it's going to work well as a big, just like OTK all-in deck. I think if they want it to be an OTK deck, they have to unhit Type Change Beam. Is the UR waifu good? The UR waifu. You talking about YAMILUNA? YAMILUNA is a good card. The issue is, I don't know if it does enough to make this deck anything more than, like, rogue. Like, high rogue, maybe. Because, like, if we swap to being a bit more of a defensive, control-styled deck, and if the meta slows down because of the new trap, there's a chance. Alright, this is a good first draft, but let's get a new deck going. Let's get a new deck. Is there a way to just, like, empty this immediately? Like, I'm too lazy, and refresh didn't help. Alright, let's just get rid of them all. Get out of here! Alright, Shady's staying for now. Let's grab Compulse as well. You can come in as well. Alright, let's take a look at... are we going to play the Kines? Maybe. We'll throw some of them in and maybe take them back out. We'll leave them there for now. We're going to want Yami. I don't know if we're playing Yami Tarasu yet. We're going to have to, like, fiddle with this. Man, imagine if we got Supreme Soldier Spear as well. That would be so good. Sayanin was the name? Sayanin? This one. I mean, what else do we even play in this deck? If we're playing the fusion stuff, obviously we're going to need Celestial Seamstress. The issue is, it's like, if we're playing the fusion stuff, this immediately goes down to 2. This now becomes a question mark amount, because we don't want to, like, just stuff too many bosses in. The viability of YAMILUNA working, or it being live to be special summoned, goes down, because we only have 2 copies of Yami Ruler in the deck. Yami Ruler got a free special summon. Interesting new stuff. The new Rusk was amazing. The fusion trap shuffles back between that and Hercule. You might be able to grind out enough to win a deck. Hopefully Rydek is tier 2 or tier 3. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rydek got, like, some sort of showing. To be honest, Fusion is pretty good, but unfortunately they're too hard to make. Yami was my first deck. Good times. Yeah, Yami's always had like a soft spot. Or I've always had a soft spot for Yami. Take these out. The main thing for me with this card is it builds a board nicely, but also it gives piercing. And giving piercing is really good, as well as having another way to change YAMILUNA back to attack position. What else would I want in this deck? We might even put this in, to be honest. Like, this is, like, because we can bring back big defense position monsters. Or big defense monsters with riding. We turn the hover on. The only issue is we could only be able to summon if our opponent summons 2,500 monsters, which is probably fine. And also, this should allow them to, like, stick around as well. For METARION is Star is cool, at least. Oh, yeah. Doesn't it suck if you don't draw exactly Yami? And it's not like you always have both? Yes. Well... yes. But it's really good if you do have Yami. The big issue we have right now is, like, what skill would you even play with this? Like, right now, it's like... Christ, what is it even called? Celestial Guidance? Light, Dark, Earth, and Wind or Fairies. So, immediately, we can't even play Saiyan with this skill. That's just an immediate red flag. Looks like a Brickfest. It kind of is, right? Again, if you get Yami, everything just kind of falls into place because this is now a special summon. So this is no longer a brick. But if you don't get Yami... need the skill that searches Yami, to be honest. I would say Ice Arc. Yeah, Ice Arc is the other one that I was thinking of as well. God, what is the Ice Arc skill even called? It's not just going to be Ice Arc. I cannot remember what it's called. Let's have a look over it. Spectral Squall, that's the one. You need Yami, the new one, and 2 monsters that are low level. That's not too bad, though, because, again, we're playing it as, like, a defensive deck, right? So the whole point is that as long as we're not just getting, like, OTK'd, we should be kind of okay, but I mean, it might be a bit of cope. It might be a bit cope. Until we actually, like, get to test with it, it's all very speculative, right? Warriors and a Winged Beast from turn 2 onward. Normal summon level 6 or higher. Send up to 2 Dark Attribute Warrior monsters with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then make a face-up Water Attribute Winged Beast monster. This is the issue. Ice Arc is just bricky by nature. But it does kind of get you access to Yami. Is there any other skill we could use? Like, is there anything at all? Baseball! Dark Arts of Positioning. We're going back. Destiny Draw Returning Alive. This is the way. That's so funny as well that it even says on it, your deck does not contain more than 1 warrior type monster with 2,500 defense. So we definitely cannot use this skill. It is so funny it has that line on it. We can't use it with the Buster Blader skill. It's just nothing. It's just nothing. Way too dank. Full armor is neat. Hello, Globe. Welcome, welcome. I wonder if Rising Light will see more or less play with Shady around. It's hard to tell, because Shady's a bit of a weird one. Again, if we had Sunset Rebirth, I think it would immediately spike, but because it's not Sunset, it's Shady, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think we're on 1 Yami, 3 Luna, 1 of the 0 attack. Actually, maybe True. I forgot this was a skill. Because Light kind of enables Shady, but gets more. Wait, no. How do you summon Yami? Ice Arc, send Yami, and reborn it. Special the 25 from hand. The only downside there is you don't get the Floodgate part of the effect. But obviously, you don't need the Floodgate part of Yami Ruler, but like, right now, the Floodgate part of this is actually kind of nice. Like, being able to stop a, like, extra Plora from coming down is really good. What did Gavin do to the Duel Links devs? It definitely seems personal. They just hate Gavin. They just hate Gavin. What can we say? I think you should watch the KC Report Ice Arc deck to see the ratios. The KC Report Ice Arc deck. Is there an Ice Arc deck here? Oh, are you talking about the GRF? Or like the Worlds thing? Let me see if I have that bookmarked at the moment. We've got some Goha Rush Festival bookmarked. I don't think we have thingy. It's in Duel Links, in-game. Oh boy, making me go and play the game. Right, you're gonna have to navigate me to it. Because I don't know how to do this. I don't usually use the in-game systems. Is it like this? Do I search it? Do I filter? GR Festival? And then, like, Gavin, I guess, would thin it down. You have Dark Arts of Celerity. The replay thing. You need to go to the screen where you watch replays. Okay. It's not here. Well, I usually watch replays from PvP Arena. So I'm going to assume it's here. PvP results by region. KC report. KC cut points. It was there. Okay. Back to the Duel Studio. KC report. Kaiba wants to talk to us first, guys. We have to have a quick conversation with the boss. Then we can go ahead and get in there. Alright, where are we going? Is it WCS? Is it GR Festival? I've never been in this menu before. I usually use external sources. Okay. Well, I don't think that's going to be helpful. Duelist B. Duelist C. Duelist D. Duelist E. Duelist F. Here we go. Here we go. Duelist F. Is it a coincidence that he's Duelist F, by the way? Kaiba was explaining him what this was. Is it from Worlds? Check all the duelists. We got it. So this is like... This is Spectral Squall, but also just featuring Ashura Star. We've put this little package in. So what, you would just swap these two out for Yami and Yami, I guess? Mid. Like, if we were taking those ratios, right, it would be one of those out, two of those out, and then you just go Ice Sark. But, like, at this point, what is this deck even doing? Right? Because now it's basically an old deck that just has YAMILUNA as a one-of in it. Play with the Watchers. Now we're not doing viewer duels at the moment. We're going through the new Rush stuff at the moment. The dark web of Duel Links. You need to play YAMILUNA in this version. I mean, if we're doing fusion stuff, I don't know why we wouldn't. YAMILUNA is a really powerful card, and Kimitarasu is also just really good. We also want to have 3 different names, ideally, because then that just works with Spectral Squall. What skill is using? So we're looking at this deck, which is using Spectral Squall. Up here. You add more YAMILUNA. I don't remember how many different dark targets you need in this deck. So you can get away with 2, but it's a little bit high roll with just 2. So usually people go with 3 different ones. But, like, theoretically, we can get away with having more of this because between the skill and Ice Sark, but then you still have to find the Ice Sark, right? Because, like, alright, so the logic is, if we find an Ice Sark, we found YAMILUNA, because we get Ice Sark out, Spectral Squall, send YAMILUNA to graveyard, activate Ice Sark, bring back YAMILUNA. So we have access to Yami. The other thing is, though, if that is the entire goal of this, you could just play 3 YAMILUNA and then just skip the Ice Sark step altogether. The downside with a deck like this is it will just occasionally brick. Like, if you just, like, open a bunch of bosses immediately. What was asking for 2 different names? It is the skill. Send up to 2 dark attribute warrior monsters with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard. But we're in ad break, so it's time for ad break. We will wait. We will pause. We will drink. Oh, it's warm. It is warm today. It's not, like, overly warm. But it's warm enough that I need, like, a nice cool drink. Add 2 Hiroshima Warrior. There's not really much reason to. Like, Hiroshima Warrior doesn't do a lot in this deck. I mean, we'll take a look at it quick, right? But in this current meta, there's not going to be a lot of cards that Hiroshima Warrior matters against. Like, how many people are actually activating traps when attacks are declared at the moment? Like, not many. And we're literally getting new traps, which are on summon. So Hiroshima Warrior is a little bit... And it's a little bit of a liability, because it's 0 defense, so it can get pierced over. You need the level 8 Warrior in the grave for the effective bird. So, in order to get the effective bird, you need to have 2 level 7 or higher warrior monsters with different names from your graveyard at the bottom of your deck, and then special summon a 3rd. So we need 3 different warriors in the graveyard. Now, Spectral Squall will get us 2 of those. So we have to get one of these warriors into the graveyard ourselves. Then we can use Spectral Squall once we summon Ice Sark. Spectral Squall will dump the other 2. Then we can activate Ice Sark to put one of them on the field and the other 2 back in the deck. That's like the combo. How would you design a new Gavin skill? I mean, that's put me on the spot a little bit there. You want a skill that enables the cards they've got, right? So depending on what cards you release, you change the skill. With the new card that we're getting, YAMILUNA, I would like a skill that gives me easy access to YAMILUNA. Now, the downside there is YAMILUNA is a floodgate, which means it does create awkward issues, right? Skill only send 2. Yes, the skill does only send 2. That is correct. YAMILUNA still limit 3 in the new info? Yes. As far as I know, it's not getting changed. Need 3 boss engrave is a sucks this. So, Ice Arc was actually okay before. The issue is now I think it's going to be too slow. But like, we're just spitballing here, right? We're theory crafting. That's all we're doing right now. Because again, we can theoretically play slower decks because we have more trap cards now. Like, theoretically. Again, we won't actually know till we start testing. Like, again, we could jump on like Dueling Book and start actually testing this, but I'm not going to realistically. Yeah, I don't know. To get 1 Dark Warrior engraved early, you need a lot of mills probably. Yeah, I mean, if we take a look at the list I was using here, we got mills, we got mills, we got mills. So there are a lot of mills in here. So I mean, let's take a quick look, right? So we would do, I mean, Reactor would be in here, right? We would have Essel, probably still worth playing in this. We would play Reincarnation. And then it's like, are we playing Fusion in this list? Because that's the other awkward part, is the other list had a Fusion package in it. I think we have to play Fusion in here, right? But then the spell traps get a bit wonky. 8 tributes though? No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about... Because, right, the skill sends 2 of them. So, outside of exactly turn 1, we're going to have, like, 6 tributes, right? And once we do get YAMILUNA out, which should be a lot of the time because we just need to find Ice Arc and we'll be sending 2 of the other ones to the graveyard, then YAMILUNA doesn't cost tributes, right? So, like, it's kind of high roll. But it's like, it's not really 8 tributes, right? It's awkward. Doesn't Buster Blade a guy mill more than Actor? Oh, you play Reincarnation, yeah. The Buster Blader guy, I believe, mills the same number, actually. What's his name? This one. Yeah, send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. You can use Raptor. I don't think we need more milling. I think 6 is probably fine. Like, Essel is still decent, because Essel will still just get to summon one of these bodies, which is, like, fine. Reactor is just great, right? Getting a 3+2 is insane. He has better stats. I mean, he has better stats, but not by much. Like, 700 defense is sort of relevant. I don't think the 400 attack matters. For the most part, this actually gains value because we can get the draws off of it, right? And we also want to be tributing it off, ideally. Another issue of YAMILUNA is what the fuck does it stop? So, YAMILUNA specifically is able to stop tribute summons. So it stops Extraplora. It also stops Dark Galaxy. That's about it. Baseball. There we go. Baseball stops baseball. It doesn't really stop anything else. Everything else kind of cheats itself out. Can at least say boat. Listen, right? Extraplorer is fine. We can say its actual name. Wait, this version uses fusion? Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Are we using fusion in this? But again, this is probably not going to work. This is just kind of our first attempt at this. It's a joke because this ass baseballist who topped my tourney said he played Freeze for normal Tribute Oblivion. That's pretty cool. So, like, Galaxy could still OTK with a turtle? No. You see, if they Oblivion, right? If they Eternal, we'll just Shady it. And if we can get out Yamitarasu, we're also fine. Right? They're our protection. Don't stop Dark Galaxy if we reborn the bosses with Proto. Just don't do that, right? Easy. Join Tech Bros. I mean, yeah, not wrong. It's not Join Tech. Use card restoration, it's good. No. Baseball is still better. I'll bring YAMILUNA to counter your Join Tech at Worlds. Oh my god. Please let that become a reality. Please let that become a reality. Now he's countering YAMILUNA. See, it makes sense. It was one step ahead. Yeah, I really don't know how this this is gonna end. We're probably taking some of these out. Realistically, I think I'd be playing Fusion in this list. I don't know if I'm playing 2 or 3. What was Bro playing in this one? He's playing 3 and the Star Restarts. This is the issue, is we're trying to build like a trap heavy version. And we're ending up just building a combo heavy version. But I don't think this deck is going to work as a combo heavy deck. I think we need the traps. But then these bosses just aren't... I don't feel like there's a good way to do this. Like, we almost have all the pieces for something. We almost have all the pieces. I feel like what we need is just YAMILUNA Turbo that goes into Yamitarasu. Then we just protect it with a bunch of traps. And then we can just kill our opponent by using, like, Kimetarasu. And just, like, on its own, it will pretty much dismantle our opponent's board. But we don't have all the pieces we need. The skills we have don't quite fit with the strategy. The cards that we have, like, we're just kind of lacking just a little bit. If you want to make the YAMILUNA Fusion, you need to cut 2 restart. Yeah, exactly. There's too many things needed to make this work. I think, again, if we want to play it as a combo deck, it's just going to be worse than other combo decks. And if we're playing it as a control deck, we now need so many trap cards to actually facilitate the strategy, but we also need all the spell cards to facilitate getting the fusions out. So it's just like... it just feels awkward no matter how we try to spin it. I'm going to have to play the horse too with Shady now. It will be another good way to bait Shady. A horse. Are we talking about Gale Vinery? Hello, Tomato. Finally got to catch your stream. Hello, Monosync. Welcome on in. Vulturecorn Bros. Ah, the Vulturecorn. That's what we're talking about. Right. I mean, Vulturecorn is just a fantastic card. Like, it's genuinely just a really good card. But yeah, I don't know. Let's rip Squall out. Let's just take that out. Straight up. Let's put this back up to 2. Let's change the skill back to the fusion skill. So now that we've got this, we can't play Seonin. He's not allowed. In order for the skill to work, we have to have 0 attack monsters. Which is, like, not the end of the world. But then it comes down to, like this can kind of work with this. Then accept 1 fusion from your deck or graveyard to spell trap zone. So we can cut this down to 1 if we want. That suddenly, like, takes the load off of our spell trap lineup by a lot. Can't play Metarion? Yes. We cannot play this one at all. Is it literally... Does it have to be light, dark, earth, wind, warriors, and fairies? So yeah, you have to come out. You're a fairy, and you're light. So you're allowed to stay, Essel. You're fine. You can come to school today. I think it's better to give up the fusion version. You can use the YAMILUNA with horse too. I mean, horse was pretty good. The issue of both of them look worse than like joystick. Yes. Yes. You're absolutely right, Giorgio. But we're just taking a look at what we can do with the new stuff, right? Because the thing you have to remember is that we are going to test this new stuff, even if it doesn't end up being very good. And I am going to make a video on this new stuff, even if it's not very good. So, I've got to have something to put in that. We're going to have to play something. Let's sort this out quick. Alright. So with that in mind, what else would we actually put in this deck? What even can we use in this deck? Can we play heroes in this deck? Light, dark, earth, wind. We can't play fire. Oh, imagine if we could play Burstinatrix in this deck. And clickbait saying it's really good based. Nah. I think it's better to use horse and give up YAMILUNA. Nah, YAMILUNA's cool. We can use earth, right? We can use earth and we can use light. So we could play Clayman, Sparkman, and Thunder Giant. I don't know why we would do that, but we can do that. We can also play Voltic Wingman. But we're getting cut so hard by not being able to play Burstinatrix. It's so sad. Yeah, we can't play the Sayanin. Not allowed. Not allowed. Shady is gonna increase curse if Rising Light stonks. Potentially. It definitely might do. It definitely might do. I don't know the name. The hero in the left of Light Wingman is pretty good, bro. The hero to the left of Light Wingman. You talking about Thunder Giant? Because Thunder Giant's, like, not very good. To the right of Light Wingman, Voltic? Because Voltic's fine. But we don't have anything to go into Voltic if we don't have fire. I have no idea what Henry is saying, but he's very passionate. Left of Light Wingman. Well, this is the Light Wingman. Right of Voltic. Tantalum. Tantalum is not super great, especially since we wouldn't be able to go into a hero fusion. Is there any +1 low level allowed? Literally, everything in the deck has to be light, dark, earth, wind, warriors, and fairies. Warriors or fairies, that's it. That's all we're allowed. Why does this deck look like Brick Turbo? Listen, right? It's not a brick if we just open trap cards, okay? That's all we need. That's all we need. I don't think we need Piercing Samurai necessarily. Can we even play water in this deck? We can't play water, so we can't even play Siesta Torero. We can play Harvey, which is neat. I don't know if we care about Harvey. Like, we could use Harvey on things we've shadied. But think about that. Combo. We shady them down, we Harvey pop them. We no longer need this. I don't think we're playing Goblin Digging Captain, right? Surely we're just not doing that. To be honest, this skill has such bad synergy with the new cards. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. But I also just think, like, the Ice Sark stuff with Spectral Score is also not great with them. I feel like we don't have a skill that works well. Accumulate a few outs defense monsters already. Because you cannot play the fire, and the only way to use YAMILUNA is hard draw both her and YAMILUNA. Yes. 100%. Yeah, we don't even have a way to get it back from the graveyard without the other one. The positives, though, are we have infinite access to fusion. That's kind of it, though. That's all we got. You have space to use back row removal? I mean, we can. What if we get skill leaks later on? We could do. I would expect if we were going to get skill leaks for this box, we would have got them with this leak, with this set of leaks. Because usually Piper would say if she, like, hasn't finished or if there was still more bits for her to find. Just double checking the leaks again. Yeah, there is nothing more in there at the moment. Metarion becomes tier 0 again. No! Pretty good if you don't have anything to tribute. But yeah, Polly's not awful here, for sure. Probably the new card is to use with the bird version. That's the old deck. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think none of the skills really suit this deck at the moment, is what it kind of feels like. Yeah, the big issue is always going to be we're just always choked by Yami. We need a way to get Yami, and we just don't have that. And again, we just don't have another good skill. Like, what's the other skill we could use? It's God, what was the very first skill people played? Dark Arts of Celerity. Can be activated during a turn you have normal summoned the level 6 or higher Dark Earth. Change an attack position monster on your opponent's field to face-up defense. Even that unironically might be one of the better skills we have access to, just because it doesn't, like, hamstring us in what we're doing. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's, like, a good way to build this. And what does that leave? That leaves Tamina bot, and this card's just bad, straight up. Metarion being even remotely playable / competitive again is going to kill hero playability through fear of OTK. Well, it's not just that. Like, if we go back and take a look at, like, the performance at the moment, if we jump over here, this is going to be, like, the better place to look. So, right now, this is what the meta's looking like, right? We've got Light Galaxy. Light Galaxy ain't going to give a shit. The only thing Light Galaxy is really probably going to care about is Shady. Because Shady's big, right? Shady's just pretty big. E-Hero is a warrior deck. So, if your opponent's playing a Shurstar, well, guess what? All of those warriors you got, and they're not even Celestial Warriors, they're just warriors. So even the fusions are going to get their attack zapped. Dark Galaxy tier fingers are going to give a shit. Baseball, this is a deck of dragons and warriors. And guess what 2 types? Specifically, the Metarians like to make the most. Red Boot is a dragon deck. The big thing for Red Boot, though, is I think Shady sort of kills Red Boot, right? Because now as soon as your opponent just has a Shady, your Red Boot just doesn't work anymore. I think the only way to actually use the new Warriors is Ice Arc. I mean, potentially, yeah. Bro, can you tell any hour that you are gonna play with the viewers so I can quit and join later? We are not doing viewer duels today, I can tell you that much right now. It's coke, but at least it makes sense to include new cards. Yes. I think it is gonna make... In terms of, like, testing, we're gonna do both, I think. I think I'm gonna be trying out both decks. I don't know which one's gonna end up feeling better overall. It's weird. It's a very strange situation to be in. Tomato doesn't play, yeah. Yeah, if we were going to play today, I was thinking... Because the other thing I want to do is I want to play Dinos again. But with the new box coming out tomorrow, the next speed stream will probably be Sunday. And then I'll probably be playing a new deck. Which means there'll be no time for Dinos. Not really. Hero just needs to optimize their decks with defensive tools and stop playing to try and crap out the big guys. Potentially. Because the thing is, again, is Ashura Star is another card that will get hurt quite a lot by Shiny Shady. And heroes still have a card that just every turn can pop a back row and can just sit on 31. So, like, you could just start playing hero as a control-oriented deck that basically plays Burst Wingman control until you're ready to go for the kill, right? You just go Burst Wingman, Burst Wingman, Burst Wingman as much as you can. Keep popping back row, keep popping back row, keep popping back row. Until your opponent hasn't got your back row left. And then you go for the Miracle Fusion, like, kill play, right? Into, like, Shining Flare. Like, that could be an option you take. I don't actually hate that. Should have spent on change the sleeves. Not the sleeves! Dino Bros. Yeah, I really like dinosaurs. I really, really like the Dino deck. And I've really been enjoying playing it. I just haven't played it in ages. Playing Rush is not something Tomato does unless Burnstall is a thing. He's a Mystic Mine player in TCG. I actually hate Mystic Mine. I am a big anti-Floodgate guy. I really do not like Floodgates in any way, shape, or form. The only Floodgates I don't mind are, like, the soft Floodgates. The Floodgates that, like, they don't stop your opponent from playing, but they hinder them from playing, right? So, like, anything that just turns shit off, I don't like that. But if it's like Yamiterasu. I like Yamiterasu because, like, they can still summon. They just have to summon in defense position. So it might mess with their deck, but it doesn't, like, stop them from playing the game. And if you're playing a deck that can't play into YAMILUNA, that's your fault. Or Yamiterasu. But yeah, then obviously Spellcasters is the other one, and then Dark Galaxy Fusion is the last, right? So yeah, it's... Like, looking at this, which of these decks are going to get hurt really badly by Shady? Like, Light Galaxy Fusion gets hurt by Shady, but Light Galaxy can just play Shady, right? Assuming it's not Limit 3. Light Galaxy just does exactly what it's always done. Light Galaxy also has both boats, so they're fine to just play the slower game. They don't have to just OTK immediately on turn 2 every game. As long as they have traps to protect themselves, they'll just happily just slowly whittle you down. Elemental Heroes, again, can do a similar thing. They can just play Burst Wingman control. But again, it's going to depend on what you draw. If you just don't see traps, then you're just going to get murdered by, like, METARION, right? Theoretically. Theoretically. Heroes can play very well under Shady, I think. Yes, potentially. Especially because they can also just summon out normals. And then, like, you could put down an effect monster. Your opponent, yeah, then you feel the Shady delay. And then you can choose to play into it or not. In the same way you can do it with Execute Your Riding, right? A lot of the time you'll feel the Execute Your Riding, and then you'll just decide if you want to play into it or not. You can extend after Shady on Burst, exactly. Tearfing is a weird one. Tearfing, I feel like, can play like into Shady, but it depends what they have. Because a lot of the time they'll just, like, keep going afterwards. Light Galaxy needs a boat to play through Shady. Yes. Another boat after going boat. Which is pretty hard. So... I suppose the question becomes, do you Would you Shady Little Boat or would you Shady Big Boat? Because if it's like Compulse, it's obvious because it goes back to the hand. You just do it on the fusion. But if it's Little Boat and you're using Shady, I'm wondering if there's a world in which you hit the Little Boat so that they don't get the extra mills and they don't get more control of having cards in hand. Because there's always a chance as well that they go extra Plora, use the effect, add 2 cards back, then they just don't bother making Plasma. It's irrelevant, probably. Shady might make Poly a real legend spell consideration now, since you can fuse with set monsters. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It does add a little bit of extra flexibility. Gosh, I'm wondering if Shady's gonna... I feel like, my gut feeling, Shady should have a massive impact on the meta. Like, just a ridiculously big impact. I think the Metarions are gonna have an impact. I don't know how big it's gonna be. And I don't really feel like YAMILUNA's gonna do a lot, but I would be happy to be wrong about that. They cannot make Big Boat into Oblivion, then Shady on Small Boat stops that hand. I'm trying to think about it now. We go 1, 2, tribute both, summon that. That's already 3 cards used from the hand. If we flip it down, he'll have 2 cards left. What could those 2 cards be? Well, if you've used the skill, it's 3 cards. So with those 3 cards, you could do like summon tribute into another boat, activate boat. Bear in mind we have 1 card left in hand. Boat gives us 2 more cards back. Then we can go... We could even just go like order into fusion, right? Order, fusion, normal summon. Still just kills. But again, like you say, we'd need 2 extra Plora. But it's kind of scary to think that if you... So I actually think, just in case they have that capability, do we always hold Shady for extra Plasma? I missed. Do the leaks say when for the deck build? I assume same time as the speed box. So the speed box is tomorrow. We don't know when the deck build's meant to be coming out. Yeah, but then it was the same if you hit Big Boat. Okay, so if we... No, yeah, you're right. You're right, because all we do is +2, -2. So it ends up being the exact same number of cards. So there's no reason to wait for Big Boat. You always hit Little Boat, I guess. The only reason not to would be you want them to have more cards in the graveyard. If Boat can add back Fusion and Lilac, then Boat turns into Big Boat and the hand remains the exact same. Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That makes me think you always hit Little Boat. That's what makes sense to me. Yeah, I think the almost like sad part is I still think like Galaxy is just going to adapt the best to having Shady in the meta. Because it's just so good. Metarion support! Hello, Globe! Yeah, we have the new Metarion support. It is exciting. And we're getting 2 Overrushes as well, which is pretty cool. I'm interested to see what people do with their Chronicles on these. I'm trying to think, what decks are going to get really hurt by Shady? Like, really, really hurt. I think Red Boot is going to, like, die. Like, Red Boot just gets hit by Shady and then just sort of loses the game on the spot, I feel. Like, in the same way that Red Boot dies to, like, Widespread. Or it dies to Compulse, right? It's just more copies of cards that just end it. Baseball, I feel like it's going to be in a much worse spot. I don't see Baseball thriving in a Shady world. Spellcasters stonks could actually rise. If the game slows down, suddenly Spellcasters becomes really strong. Because it's just able to consistently do exactly the same thing. You're able to just keep getting the bodies out, keep getting that piercing in, keep changing the battle positions, keep threatening your opponent's board. And you can also tribute over your set cards if you need to. Baseball can OTK through it, pressure, order, 2 vanilla, or 2 order. I suppose, though, it depends when, right? Because at some point, you have to, like, put cards on the board, right? You have to activate, like, pressure to clear the board, to get ready for the OTK. Then, you tribute 2, summon out Builder, and then it just gets flipped, or Groundra, and then it gets flipped down by Shady, right? And then doesn't that just end the turn? Pressure order to vanilla. So, but then the issue becomes... So if you do it that way, though, now we just have to have all of those cards, right? Because we're not getting the +1 from the skill unless we have a Groundra already on the field. Too much thinking, just Shady as soon as it lights up. I mean, if you have a vanilla hand, you kill through that. Yeah, you'd have to have what? So let's say you have nothing on the board, right? So you have to have Dragonic Pressure, 3 vanilla dragons, Shady, not Shady, Order. Then you activate discard 3, bring back 1. Then activate Order. How are we getting enough bodies to do this? Because in my mind, right, because if we're able to activate the skill, we're fine, right? But we can't activate the skill unless we already have a boss on the board. Oh, you could just use the skill to add a 15 afterwards, I guess? Because we could summon out Volcano, activate the skill then, grab a 1500 to hand, summon it out. I guess you could grab 2. So the last card doesn't matter. If my set is a slime, you lose next turn. I mean, maybe we enter trap meta, right? Maybe we just start playing all the traps. No, yeah, I think baseball still can. Baseball, like, theoretically, yeah, baseball still can OTK through. But I do think you need a little bit of a custom hand. I do think you do need a little bit of a custom hand. You have a set pressure on the field already? You can do that. I mean, yeah, you'd have to have it set already, though, right? Which is kind of like the downside. Metarion got in a Galaxy? Not yet. Metarion will be better than Light Galaxy. I don't think so. Again, just from theory crafting, I think Light Galaxy is going to be the best deck. That's easy to say when it's taken up 55% of this pie chart, but I feel like it can play through Shady to some extent. It can make use of Shady itself. Like, we've already started seeing players have been playing, like, 2 copies of Riding in this deck for ages. You could now just swap the Riding for Shady. This deck has the room for it. E-Hero will probably still be good. Tearfing still is going to do kind of the same thing it's always done. I don't know if Shady's going to impact Tearfing that much. It definitely could. Baseball, again, I think baseball is going to drop a lot, but like we said, baseball can still OTK through. You just have to get a little bit luckier. Red Boot, I feel like is still just DOA. I don't know. Red Boot, on paper, I feel like Red Boot is just dead with Shady in the meta. Spellcasters, I think, could be really, really strong. Dark Galaxy Fusion. Where do we think Dark Galaxy Fusion ends up? Dark Galaxy Fusion is a deck right now that doesn't play trap cards. It does get hurt by quite a lot of these trap cards. Red Boot's actually far from dead. It's actually the best deck to play Shady in. Yes. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But also, how does it win? So right now, Red Boot feels like a deck that as soon as you get hit by one trap card, the deck just falls apart and you die. So now, there are a lot more cards that stop you and make your deck fall apart. But if you have your own trap cards to stop their trap cards, you just stop them from killing you on the crackback, and then you just play the trap race of who runs out of traps first, right? 3+1, set 3, set Shady. It doesn't matter, you have infinite grind. I guess, well, the other thing is that Shady does give life point gain. And again, depending on which of these decks ends up being, like, really strong, they could just, like, beat you up, right? Like, we've seen, with Spellcasters could be quite good into it now. Like, if it's a grind game, Spellcasters also have a big advantage in that. It will sack less often. I mean, that's the thing. When you think of Red Boot is just the draw custom hand win, right? Open Red Boot, do 6,000 damage, GG, right? I'm really excited to get my hands on these cards, though. I really want to play them. I really want to try them out. Slow format will be better for 7s. That's the thing, though. We don't know if the format is going to slow down a lot or not. Because the thing is, you can have 3 copies of Shady, but you still might just not draw them, right? How much are people going to respect Shady? How much are people going to play around it? How much are people going to invest a lot more time in getting rid of back row? Because they could just, like, balls to the walls, ignore it, and they'll still win games doing that. 7s are dead since last box. If we take a look at the pie chart, it's right there, 4.5%. Right next to its old friend Dark Galaxy and Red Boot. Tournament wins are irrelevant, not a single Light Galaxy. That one is a good list. Yeah, but it's doing really well. Why aren't we talking about Royal Rebel? Aren't we getting another Light Fiend? I don't see another Light Fiend. Unless I've missed something. Have I missed something? Let me have a look. I'm going to go back to the source. I'm looking at the data mines. Oh, we do also now have a confirmation of this. In case anyone was curious if the damage was going to get halved. It got leaked. Let me have a look. Turn of the Leader, Slifer, Ensemble Fighter, Guardian Slime. Not seeing it. Not seeing it anywhere in the leaks. I'm scrolling through them. I'm looking for them. And if it was leaked, it should be in here. We'll hit refresh again to just double check. Not seeing it anywhere on here. As far as I know, there is no other Fiend card. The problem... if Hero is if he faces Metarion. Just flip down the Metarions. Doesn't matter, right? Your opponent goes Ashura Star, you go Shady. And then you don't care. But this is quite big. This is actually quite big. Knowing that Tax is going to be hitting for 6 is really big. Like, actually really big. Tax Dragon is going to become the most hated card in the game, I swear. Where is he? Good old Tax Dragon. Yeah, I've had a look. I can't see any other leak. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Unless it's leaked by someone else, which means it might not be a real leak. But yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere on here. I'll have another quick gander just to make sure. But If it's not from Piper and not from Brad, I'm always a bit dubious. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Not on the website, not on the Discord. Yeah, I mean, I can't see it. It might have just been someone else leaked something somewhere. But it's fine. It's just whatever, right? It's not a big deal either way. Okay. With that being said, we have done quite a lot today. We've done a lot of yapping, and we're probably going to call it here. This is a little bit early than usual, but, like, we're at that point where, like, it's not really much time to start doing something. Like, I would just play, like, a ladder game and then just call it. So we might as well just call it now. But today's been pretty fun. We had a good time. We got to talk about all the new leaks. We got to talk about all the new cards. I'm really excited for the speed box that comes out tomorrow. We're playing with those new cards on Sunday. We didn't really talk about any Shadowverse today, but that's because, you know, today's been a very Yu-Gi-Oh! Centric day. I do think that Metarion looks fun. I'm interested to see how it performs. Shady is going to be insane. Like, Shady is actually going to be insane. It's going to be nuts to see what we actually do with that and how much it shakes up the meta. Outside of that, I don't know. Tamane bot is like, whatever. I don't know why we're getting that. It just seems weird to me. But we will be back again on Sunday with speed. So if you want to see some speed, if you want to see some... I don't know what we're actually going to be playing. It's going to depend on what we pull, right? If I end up getting enough pulls, because I haven't worked out the gems we've got, but we're going to go through the new box 3 times. I want to get all of the Despia stuff. I do want to play the Adamancipator stuff, so we'll see what we can actually scrape together. We might end up playing Chimera, because we'll not have been through the box 3 entire times, I wouldn't imagine. So we might be playing Chimera on Sunday. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!